right and wrong. When politicians say one thing but do another, it's time for change in the State House. Jerry Starnes is a change in the right direction. He's a husband, a father, and a Christian conservative. Jerry Starnes is a Purple Heart decorated veteran. Jerry Starnes is a man of strong character, a man who loves his wife, and a man you can trust. Paid for by Jerry Starnes for State House of Representatives, 1695 Winstone Way, Prattville, Alabama, 36066.
Hi, I'm Pastor Knight, and I'm asking on May the 24th that you go and vote Fernando Morgan for Family Court Judge. Fernando Morgan, a long-term Democrat. Fernando Morgan was also endorsed by the MCDC, and he brings loyalty and honesty to the table. His opponent went to bed as a Republican, but she woke up as a Democrat. You can play with some people, but you undercover Trump supporters won't tarnish this election. Let's send a strong message on May the 24th. Go out and vote for Fernando Morgan. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adele Sankey, one of the foot soldiers for Fernando Morgan, boots on the ground soldiers, asking you to go out on May 24th and vote for the man that's most qualified for the job.
But we have some blacks who are telling y'all that we can't have another black qualified judge. Sabrina Martin is not the most qualified, nor the one who can relate to the issue within the home of the Lisa D. Fernando Morgan has 14 years as an attorney. His opponent has just 7. Paper letter reference by William Boyd.
Jeff Franker with Chappie's Deli. Mike, listen.
Hi, Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli. Jeff, what is that?
It's the Chappie's Deli Grill. Let's do a commercial about grilled onions.
Grilled onions? Oh, yeah. People will be knocking the doors down to come in for that.
It's psychology, Gramps. It's a subtle message that tells a story.
Jeff, we can't do a Chappie's Deli commercial only about grilled onions.
Mike, it tells everyone 2 things. Number 1, we cook on real grills at Chappie's Deli. No better flavor.
You'll find a grill master at each Chappie's. Big difference between a Chappie's Deli grilled Reuben versus a microwave or steamed.
And number 2, where else can you get grilled onions on a sandwich?
Yep, that's what Chappie's Deli is all about. You want something special? Just ask. So come to Chappie's Deli, Perry Hill, Peppertree, Prattville, Baptist South Towers, and Auburn for some psychology.
No.
Oh yeah, the onions.
No, Gramps, the grill. The grill.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Kelly Blue Book. Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the hits, kbb.com it.
Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of another work week, and we are in for another hot day. Low 90s today, sun and clouds, and I can't rule out a couple of showers or storms. Coverage around 20%. For tonight, warm, muggy again. Temperatures in the low 70s, and for Saturday, a 50% chance of afternoon and evening showers and storms. It'll still be hot in the low 90s, and then we're a little cooler with more rain and storm coverage expected for Sunday, coverage around 70%.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Your Friday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from Selma and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Still carrying light traffic. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Good credit, slow credit, doesn't matter. Call the A-Team at MCS in Wetumpka for cash out refinance or an equity loan. MCS 567-9000 and MLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law for Montgomery Skywatch Traffic. This is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes, but why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday. The Alabama Education Association is taking the Chilton County School District to court on behalf of 2 employees. These employees were mistakenly overpaid for years, and the school system demanded they repay tens of thousands of dollars. The AEA says that repayment is illegal. Gas prices continue to skyrocket across the state. AAA saying the cost continues to go up day by day, with companies looking to capitalize on Memorial Day and summer travel. The latest from AAA putting our state average at $4.30. Speaking of summer, the YMCA is getting ready for its summer season with its annual Splash Bash this weekend. Big parties will be held at several YMCAs in our area for the opening of its outdoor pools. At the Wetumpka YMCA, they will be debuting a new outdoor pool there this year. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA, and these are your morning headlines.
Shining and strong, healthy and hydrated. Your hair can do it all. So get to Ulta Beauty's gorgeous hair event happening now to see how you can take your hair to a whole new level. Discover beauty steals of up to 50% off hair care must-haves from brands like Lunge, Weedad, and Bumble and Bumble. Plus, amazing deals on Redken jumbo-sized shampoos and conditioners, just $29.99. This event ends May 28th. Shop in-store, online, or try curbside pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of theme weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, and surrounding areas. Matt Parsley here with Budget Car and Truck Sales. We're all feeling the pinch. With everything going up, sorry to say budget, we're going to have to take away the nickel down sale, and we're raising it to a dime. Yep. That's right, one dime, one thin dime. It's dime time. Yep, it's dime time. If you've got a dime and some time, shop over 300 compact, mid-size, full-size luxury cars, trucks, vans.
All righty then.
And if you're looking to sell your car, we're buying, and we'll buy it on the spot with no trade-in required. Owe too much on your trade? We'll pay up to $4,256 over Kelley Blue Book for most trades. And if credit problems in the past prevent you from driving a light new car today, we understand. My credit approval process will help you rebuild your credit and get you financed when others can't. We are Budget Car and Truck Sales. So if you've got a little time and a dime, visit us in Montgomery at 61 Mendel Parkway or 508 McQueen Smith Road in Prattville. Check us out online.
Nostalgia and girl power take the stage at Alabama Shakespeare Festival with the marvelous Wonderettes. If you're a fan of girl group pop music from the 50s and 60s and know the power of good girlfriends, you'll love Springfield High's Missy, Susie, Cindy Lou, and Betty G, in what the New York Times calls an utter charm bomb. Bring your best girls and save with group rates. Get tickets now at asf.net or 271-5353.
We're offering you another great sweet deal from Alabama Shakespeare Festival starting Friday, May 20th at 8 a.m. Visit this station's website to get 2 tickets to the ASF performance of Marvelous Wonderettes for the price of 1. This sweet deal starts 8 a.m. and offers are limited, so act fast. Friday, May 20th at 8 a.m. Just visit the station's website and click Sweet Deals. Get your tickets to the Marvelous Wonderettes at Alabama Shakespeare Festival.
You know, every 3 seconds there is a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name, selling your personal information on the dark web. Now, protecting your identity can be very easy thanks to LifeLock by Norton. No one company can prevent all identity theft or monitor every transaction of every business, but LifeLock is simple and easy to protect yourself, and you'll save up to 25% off the first year when you go to LifeLock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock. Just use the promo code HANDED.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies?
Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote.
For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month.
And at
I'm SelectQuote
$22
agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're
I know.
probably paying
Everybody
too
needs a
much.
job like this. I got you. I feel you. Okay, I understand. I mean, everybody can't do this. That's true.
890-6688. 800.
But it's still a job.
6688. Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Still a job.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials or price may vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Sometimes you need to set, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day that we've been blessed to see. It's another day that the Lord has made. So it's time to rise and shine. Be thankful for it. But the first thing you do when you get out of bed this morning is say, thank God for this day, where this certainly was not promised and it was not guaranteed. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440.
When you feel like being quiet, when you need to speak your mind, I will listen, I will be here.
It is May the 20th, 2022 AD. It is a day like all the others, a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day. But more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do this morning or this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. If you have lived a while, you've no doubt seen many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and mercy abundantly thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Whatever you do, when you can, reach back and help somebody else with a helping hand. While you can, when you can, as much as you can, as long as you can. Good morning to you. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. I say if that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail in a thing or two. After all, we all do. But you'll never be a failure until you quit. Quitters don't win. And winners, where they may fail in a thing or two, they never quit. My mother said nothing ever beats a failure but a try. Put one foot in front of the other, keep on moving. Martin Luther King said, if you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. Don't ever give up, because quitters never win. And winners never quit. And again, it is May the 20th. So no matter what happens this day, remember this. It is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you. Today's daily bread is refreshed at Simon's house. They refresh my spirit and yours also. That's 1 Corinthians 10, 16, and 18. We'll be back, hopefully.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. I'm Arthur Jackson, and I've titled today's reading, Refreshed at Simon's House. My trip to Simon's house was unforgettable. Under the cover of a starlit sky in Nyahururu, Kenya, we made our way to his modest home for dinner. The dirt floor and the lantern light reflected Simon's limited means. What was on the menu, I don't recall. What I can't forget was Simon's joy that we were his guests. His gracious hospitality was Jesus-like, selfless, life-touching, and refreshing. In 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 15 to 18, Paul mentioned a family, the household of Stephanas, who had a reputation for their caregiving. They devoted themselves to the service of the Lord's people. While their service likely included tangible things, the impact was such that Paul wrote, "They refreshed my spirit and yours also." When we have opportunities to share with others, we rightly give attention to matters of food, setting, and other things that are fitting for such occasions. But we sometimes forget that although the what and the where matter, they're not the most important things. Memorable meals are great and pleasant settings have their place, but food is limited in its capacity to fully nourish and encourage. True refreshment flows from God and is a matter of the heart. It reaches the hearts of others, and it continues to nourish long after the meal is over. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 15 to 18. You know that the household of Stephanas were the first converts in Achaia, and they have devoted themselves to the service of the Lord's people. I urge you, brothers and sisters, to submit to such people and to everyone who joins in the work and labors at it. I was glad when Stephanas, Fortunatus, and Achaicus arrived, because they have supplied what was lacking from you. For they refreshed my spirit and yours also. Such men deserve recognition. Let's pray. Father, forgive us for the times we've made welcoming others more about us than those you've called us to serve. Help us to extend ourselves in ways that truly refresh others. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Chorus. Oh, teach. Who? Airborne. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be. Gotta be. Rough and tough. Rough and tough. Airborne. Airborne. Every day. Every day. We run. We run to the sun. To the sun. No sweat. No sweat.
Not yet. Not yet. Down in the mess hall on my knees.
Down in the mess hall on my knees. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans. Nothing to eat but a can.
The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. You know darn well that you can't eat that.
Hey, you know.
Well, there's no PT today.
Eat that. Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way.
All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, knees in the breeze. Now that I'm here, I want to do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. Come on now. It's Friday. Get motivated. Get motivated.
All the way.
Come on, Nimrod. You remember these days?
On, driving on. Early one morning.
And the drizzling rain. Well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light, green in the whirling blow. Whatever she said. Drive it on, all the way, airborne, airborne, all the way, drive it on, drive it on.
Here we go.
Here we go, all the way. It's Friday. Deaf and tough, airborne, airborne. Oh yeah. Okay, and with that, I gotta take a break. We'll come back, of course, with our audio presentation this morning. Something to try to. Oh, uh, oh. Okay, I'll do this next. We'll do this. Then we'll go to the other thing. Sorry about that. I forgot about that. And now we pay homage to all of our armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, and the Coast Guard. Space Force. I don't really know what they do yet, but I guess we'll find out in the like my good friend Dan Morris used to say, in the fulfillment of time. We'll see. The United States Coast Guard. Woo! The United States Air Force. Good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. Can somebody please bring back a 141? Please. Let me put in a request for that bird. I'll take another jump out of it. I will. Even at this age, I can still hook a rucksack. Maybe not as long, but I can still do it. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. But just give me the parachute. No, don't deal with the rucksack anymore. The United States Marine Corps, whose motto is Semper Fidelis, but they cut it short. Too much to pronounce for most Marines, so we just said Semper Fi. But whether it's Semper Fidelis, okay, wrong one. The United States Navy. Woo! Got that one wrong. Well, it sounds almost the same. Now, the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, Marine, Semper Fi. No sense me messing up any worse than I did already. The United States Army, home of the 82nd Airborne, the 2nd and the 75th Ranger Regiment, 18th Airborne Corps, Fort Lewis, Fort Bragg, Fort Wainwright, Fort Drum, Fort Jackson. I missed some too, but Fort Lee, can't forget Fort Lee now. That's where they teach you how to cook and all those other kind of things. Oh yeah. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, thank you for asking. I appreciate that. You know, I usually didn't like Friday. You know what I found? Okay, let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. Okay, so I got my insurance thing. Okay, in the mail. Right, I got my insurance thing in the mail. You know, I mean, I got half a car now. I used to have a whole car. Now I got half a car. We did call them Tahoe, where we changed the name to JB for Jelly Bean. Okay, that's what it looks like. It looks like a jelly bean. It's me and JB just going down the road, right? So I get my insurance thing, right? Okay, I'll tell you about that when I come back. I got to take a break. I was just so hurt yesterday. Hurt. Yesterday, I was hurt. But I'll tell you why the hurt set in yesterday after I got my insurance bill for the car. Okay, I may be on a bike pretty soon. Okay. Anyway, I think I am the victim of age discrimination. Oh yeah, I think I am. So let me get this right. When you're young, your insurance goes high as hell, and when you hit 65, your insurance goes high as hell. So I'm thinking to myself, so brother can't even catch a break. Okay, now when I didn't have any experience, They say, well, we taking a shot on you. We taking the chance. And for that chance, we have got to charge you a little bit more. Okay. When you get older, you know what they say? Yo, we're taking a chance on you. For that chance, we got to charge you more. That is un-American. Don't we respect the elderly anymore? We sure do. As long as you pay us a little bit more. Oh man, I'm so ticked this morning, I don't know what to do. But anyway, let me roll, and we'll come back and we'll have this conversation about something else. I can't believe it. They took my insurance up. Okay. I never had an accident. Come on. Okay. One time I didn't have an accident, but I was looking. I wasn't looking, and I kind of bent my door handle and stuff like that. But that's not an accident, is it? I was just too close to the big yellow pole. That's all. Anyway, we'll come back right after these commercials. I can't believe. So when you're young and dumb, they take the price up on you, and when you're older and wiser, they take the price up on you. Can a brother get a break? I'm like the guy at the city council. Can a brother get a slice of pizza? Man.
Love for less, which is why they have all
Can a
kinds of
brother
ways to
get
save.
a slice of
Shop
pizza?
smart with digital coupons, weekly sales, and buy one get one deals. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Happy Friday. We made it to the end of another work week, and we are in for another hot day. Low 90s today, sun and clouds, and I can't rule out a couple of showers or storms. Coverage around 20%. For tonight, warm, muggy again. Temperatures in the low 70s, and for Saturday, a 50% chance of afternoon and evening showers and storms. It'll still be hot in the low 90s, and then we're a little cooler with more rain and storm coverage expected for Sunday. Coverage around 70%.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities that would send anyone on an alternate route. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Premier Place has it all for summer. Shop Bath & Body Works, Cuts by Us, Hourglass Optical, Shoe Carnival, Pharaoh Vape and Phone Repair, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
CSM, an esports organization who had found great success in the past, is now under fire by the public. CEO Andy Reginald Din has been accused of creating a culture of fear through harsh verbal behavior, baseless firing of workers, and suspicious business activities. Former employees talked about how they would avoid Din at all costs and would refuse to meet with the CEO in a one-on-one meeting.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a
Over here, over there.
timeshare industry and your options for cancellation? Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000
Over here,
miles with an auto
over
warranty about to
there.
expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a
Well,
low-cost
good
month-to-month
morning,
vehicle protection plan
Horace.
that is now available
Good
to the
morning,
public to
Christine.
save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-632-4055 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-632-4055. That's 800-632-4055. What do you have to lose? Call 800-632-4055. Again, 800-632-4055.
I'm attorney Fernando Morgan, candidate for Circuit Court Judge, Place 3 for Family Court. This is a countywide election. I believe strong families equal strong communities. As a husband of 21 years and father of 2, my family is very important to me, and your family is important to me as well. With 14 years of experience, I am Alabama's only certified child welfare law specialist, and I volunteer on 2 court improvement committees. On May 24th, vote Fernando Morgan for Circuit Judge, because when it comes to your family, experience matters. Pay for the committee to elect Fernando Morgan for Circuit Judge.
Hi, I'm Pastor Knight, and I'm asking on May the 24th that you go and vote Fernando Morgan for Family Court Judge. Fernando Morgan, a long-term Democrat. Fernando Morgan was also endorsed by the NCBC, and he brings loyalty and honesty to the table. His opponent went to bed as a Republican, but she woke up as a Democrat. You can play the Trump, but you undercover Trump supporters won't tarnish this election. Let's send a strong message on May the 24th. Go out and vote for Fernando Morgan. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adele Sankey, one of the foot soldiers for Fernando Morgan, boots on the ground soldiers, asking you to go out on May 24th and vote for the man that's most qualified for the job.
But we have some blacks who are telling y'all that we can't have another black qualified judge. Sabrina Martin is not the most qualified, nor the one who can relate to the issue within the home of the Lisa D. Fernando Morgan has 14 years as an attorney. His opponent has just 7. Paper letter reference by William Boyd.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of theme weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
Are you tired of electing Republicans who just turn out to be politicians? I'm Robin Lydecker, a Republican running for place 2 on the Alabama Public Service Commission, and I want to do government differently. If you elect me, I won't blend in with the big government crowd. I am always true to my conservative principles. I am a public servant, not a politician. On May 24th, vote Robin Lydecker, Alabama Public Service Commission, place 2.
Paid for by the committee to elect Robin Lydecker. P.O. Box 1671, Fairhope, Alabama 36533.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
My freshman year, I don't play a lick. And before I knew it, I lost my mindset again. I began to recalibrate. You know, everybody doesn't play in the NBA. I'm graduating 4 years. You know what? I just go get a good job. It's okay. It's okay. And at the end of my freshman year, my daddy called me on the phone. He asked me a question. He said, son, you're not playing. Why not? Politics, Dad. It's political. It's political. My father asked me a question. He says, how does your coach get paid, son? I said, yeah, he gets paid to win. He says, okay, son, if your coach gets paid to win, won't he play the players to give them the best chance to win? He said, son, you got recruited. You took all your visits. You chose Minnesota. You took the time. You chose Minnesota. You told me that you're going to turn that program around. You told me you're going to graduate in 4 years. You told me you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. One of the core values of our training and development called family was accountability. That was a core value of that training and development organization called the Bond Family Accountability. He said, so go back and do what you said you're going to do. My father reminded me of what I said I was going to do. I went back to my coach's office. I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He looked confused. This is what I told him. I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? I'm taking this thing to the next level. We about to rise up. So for you to be passionate, your logic and your emotions need to be intertwined. See, some of you guys have the intellect, and some of you guys have the passion, but you have to have both to be successful in this business. Sharks are hunters and predators. They never stop swimming. In fact, if a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. Think like a shark, act like a shark, and behave like a shark. Can I ask you a question right now? Can I ask you a real question? Not your neighbor, I'm talking to you. What kind of student are you right now in life? You're in charge of your promotion. If you do 5 million and want to get to 10, you're in charge. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. Your relationships need to go to the next level. Take your money and get information and access, and you will get good habits and good rituals, and you will go to the next level. Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, you can't run, you can't jump, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, and you can't rebound, son.
Product neglect.
Next year, I'll be your most improved player. I'm going to think. I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to think. I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to execute what I've been trained to do. I'm connected to a shark. I'm connected to the greatest training organization in the world. And when I get home, I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do? You need to have an honest self-assessment about what your weaknesses are. And that's how you get to the next level. My sophomore year rolls around. We go all the way to the Sweet 16, and I'm the top 6 man in the country. I go back to my coach. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? The list got shorter. The next year, we went all the way to the Elite 8. We were 1 shot away from the Final Four, and I was the top 6 man in the country. I carved out a niche. And that's what impact players do. They make their community better. They make their city better. They make their town better. They make realtors better. Be an impact player, and anyone in your life, if they need a shark, you become their shark. All I had to do was have 1 good year, and I walked right into the NBA. My senior year, everything lines up. But the first game of my senior year, I break my foot. I come back in 6 weeks and I break my foot a second time. In my mind, my college career was over and my NBA dreams were dead. I averaged 7 points a game. I got offered a $75,000 job because one of our season ticket holders liked me. Right before I took the job, my daddy called me on the phone. He would always ask the right questions at the right time. He said, you had a tough year, son, what's next? I said, Daddy, I'm going to be a hospital administrator, $75,000 job. He said, not bad, son, but can I ask you a question? Do you believe you're an NBA player? Come on now, Dad. I only having 7 points a game, Dad. We're not like these other black families that just need basketball, Dad. We're educated, Dad. We're not dependent on basketball, Dad. We're balanced, Dad. We're educated, Dad. I got a $75,000 job, Dad. Do you believe, son? He was checking my mindset. He was checking to see, was I thinking like an A student? Or was I falling back into that C mindset? Do you believe you're an NBA player? I said, yeah, Dad, I do. He said, well, go for it, son. But Dad, I never started in college. But. My father said, you told me, son, that you're going to turn that program around and you did it from the get, son. You told me you're going to graduate in 4 years, son. The average student graduates in 5. I'm proud of you. But you told me that you're going to play in NBA. And you told me you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. Do you believe you're an NBA ball player? for it, son. Go for it. I go back to my coach's office and I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He teared up. I teared up. He said, I'll be honest with you, son. When I recruited you, I heard you was a mama's boy. But you're not. In fact, you're one of the toughest players I ever had. I'm a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. I go all over the world running my mouth. But he gave me the greatest compliment I've ever received. He said, you're just like your daddy. My daddy was a shark when I was a suckerfish. But that moment was my opportunity to turn into a shark myself. If you hang around sharks long enough, it will transform your mindset, and I promise you, you will be like a shark. You will think like a shark. If you can't go backwards, if you stop swimming, you will die. Brian Buffini, he can't go backwards, and if he stops swimming, he will die. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're connected to the right shark. All you need to do is be a good suckerfish. Success is all around you. Just pay attention. Every time you leave a business meeting, consciously and subconsciously, that person keeps reaching you. Are you likable? Do you brighten up a room when you enter, and do you brighten up a room when you leave? Are you good with people? And don't you ever be a sales parasite, which means don't you ever come to this conference and go back home and do nothing. And then claim, oh, I tried and it didn't work. No. My college basketball coach said, son, I think you should be a motivational speaker. I said, Coach, I can talk the rest of my life. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, if you do these two things, you'll play in the NBA. You got to better shoot the three-point shot with range. And you got to lose about 15 pounds because you don't pass the eyeball test. When I talk about the eyeball test, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. He says the NBA thinks you're a football player trying to play basketball. You got to lose weight to change the perception. I lost 15 pounds. And I became the first ever undrafted rookie free agent in the history of the NBA to start opening night. The shark mindset. Wow, that's heavy. I guess you just can't quit. You can't give up. You got to keep going. Okay. There's an old saying said, whatever a man can conceive, he can achieve. And that's a lot easier to say than it is to do. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Okay. I have one goal left in life. One goal to do. There's one thing I want to do. Okay? One thing I want to do. Okay? I'm working on it. Now I may not ever get a chance to do it, but I'm gonna think like this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna think like this guy. I'm gonna do it. I just need to do it one time. One goal in life I want to do. Okay, can't tell you what it is right now, but I'm gonna do it. I am going to do it. Forget that I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Now I just got to figure out the logistics of all that stuff. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope today finds you well. But a shark mindset. Yeah, I didn't know that if a shark stopped swimming, he died. I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. And he said, and if a shark goes backwards, he dies. Wow. See, you learn something new every day, right? I just didn't realize that before. But I can understand that. So the thing for the shark is that you got to keep going, you got to keep moving, and you can't go backwards. Okay? There's a lesson in there. Anyway, good morning to you. It is time for lessons of life and the word of the day. I'm gonna tell you guys what my dream, my one thing that I want to do before I leave Earth. Somebody reminded me yesterday. It may not be long from now. So, okay, so I got to get busy quick. But anyway, the word of the day is emeritus. Now, what is that? Because I've always wondered what that meant. President emeritus, whoever. And I said, well, what the world's an emeritus president? I mean, you're either president or you're not the president. But it means holding after retirement an honorary title corresponding to the last held during active service. So I guess I'm like a sergeant emeritus. But no, they retired me as one. So I guess I'm still a sergeant. Okay, I didn't say sergeant major. I wish I was. My check would be a lot bigger. But so I guess when they retire you, you get to hold the title, I guess. So I guess, yeah, okay. So I guess that's what emeritus, it means holding after retirement an honorary corresponding. So I guess if Quentin Ross decides to retire, he'll be President Emeritus Quentin Ross, or whatever the case may be, of Alabama State University. Okay, I guess that's what that means. I don't really know. But it sounds good. Sounds good to me. Anyway, good morning to you. Okay, now the lessons of life. Now okay. This is for all young folks and some old folks too. Okay, here's it. And we learn this as you go through life. You will learn this. It ain't no big deal. You'll learn this whether you want to learn it or not. I don't know who said it, but I can tell you it is true. Okay, and this is your lesson of life for the 20th day of May, 2022 AD. This is your lesson. What comes easy will never last long. And what lasts long didn't come easy. Say that one more time. What comes easy won't last long. But what lasts long won't come easy. You got to put in the work. But if you do put in the work, the benefits are sometimes insurmountable. Okay? All right, you got that? What comes easy won't last long. And what lasts a long time did not come easy. So it's all about putting in the work. Got to put in the work. Okay? You just got to put in the work. That's it. Anyway, good morning to you. It is May the 20th, the 140th day of this year. It was on this day, 1927, that Charles Lindbergh took off from Roosevelt Field on Long Island, New York, aboard the Spirit of St. Louis on his historic solo flight to France. In 1521, Ignatius of Loyola was wounded by a cannonball while defending Pamplona against the French. At least that's close. That's Pamplona. Well, that's close to it anyway. During his convalescence, he turned to religion, becoming a leader in the Counter-Reformation and founder of the Jesuits. In 1873, Levi Strauss and tailor Jacob Davis received a U.S. patent for men's work pants made with copper rivets. In 1899, taxi driver Jacob German was pulled over and arrested by a police officer for riding a bike, for speeding down Manhattan's Lexington Avenue in his electric car at 12 miles an hour, at a time when the speed limit was 8 miles per hour. It was the first recorded speeding arrest in U.S. history. So you see, now what did you learn from it? 1899, they had an electric car. Oh, that didn't last too long, did it? And if you believe that electric cars are going to be a staple in American economy, I'm sorry, nah, not yet. Maybe 100 years from now, maybe. 1915, Israeli soldier states that Moshe Dayan was born at someplace in another country, because ain't no way in the hell I can pronounce this name. So why kill it? Okay, look it up. Amelia Earhart took off from Newfoundland to become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Because of weather and equipment problems, Earhart set down in Northern Ireland instead of her intended destination, France. Hey, she should have just flew back and said, I went there. Okay, 1939, regular transatlantic mail began as the Pan American Airways plane, the Yankee Clipper, took off from Port Washington, New York, bound for Marseille or something like that. Okay, I know the country, France. Okay. Hey, it's a tough name to pronounce. 1948, was the year Chiang Kai-shek was inaugurated as the first president of the Republic of China, otherwise Taiwan. In 1959, nearly 5,000 Japanese Americans had their U.S. citizenship restored after choosing to renounce them during World War II. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay, so you're going to renounce your citizenship. Then we're going to give it back to you. Okay. Something's wrong with that one. Okay. I got to go back to 1959 and see what was going on back then. We'll talk about that next week. 1961, a white mob attacked busload of freedom riders in Montgomery, Alabama, prompting the federal government to send U.S. Marshals to restore order. Now the Marshals are busy catching bank robbers. 1985, Radio Marti, operated by the U.S. government, began broadcasting Cuba. It is pronounced Cuba. I know you folks down here call it Cuba, but it's Cuba. Responded by attempting to jam its signal. And the year was 1993, estimated 93 million people turned in for the final run of the episode of sitcom Cheers. I was one of those 93 million people because that was a great show. Okay. 1998, okay, never mind, I don't have time for that. So we'll get that. We're done. We'll see you next time. I got my guess there. Got a guess? Okay. Yes. Almost my intellectual equal. We'll be back. Uno momento. And we'll see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going today?
Pretty good. Now, I'm glad you're here because this education thing is just. We need to talk a little bit about that. I got a conundrum.
Yes.
When it comes to education, I got you now, and only you can answer this question.
No, I don't know about that, but.
Oh yeah.
But I'll have an opinion on it.
Okay, good.
That part I promise. This thing on? There we go.
Not yet. Yeah. Right there is the volume
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of summer, the Lions
Oh,
are getting ready for the summer season.
You want a cup of water?
No, thank you. I'm good.
Good. I don't have any.
Several YMCA's in our
Just gotta
area
be nice
will be
and
opening
Yeah, I guess so.
schools. So at Uncle YMCA, they will be debuting a new outdoor pool there. I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Stephen Portnoy with President Biden in Seoul. It's the start of a 5-day Asian tour for the president, which will have him here in South Korea through Sunday before traveling to Tokyo through Tuesday. The trip is aimed at strengthening economic and security ties with U.S. allies in this region, and the president's first stop was a Samsung semiconductor plant.
This is an auspicious start to my visit.
The facility Mr. Biden toured is similar to a $17 billion plant Samsung is now building in Texas. And the president says it's all part of a supply chain strategy.
Secure more of what we need.
Somebody made an interesting note on
bolster our supply
Facebook.
chain
Now, the one thing I do like about social media is that you can steal a lot of people's great lines.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one guy, they made a great observation. They said, we got folks with college degrees whining about paying back money that they borrowed to get their education. But rarely will you ever see a guy who went to trade school doing that.
That's a good point. Yeah, but he doesn't have as much to pay back either.
But he also making money.
Mm-hmm.
Where the guy who goes to traditional your traditional college thing, there are no guarantees you're going to get a job just because you got a degree.
No.
And if you do get, I've seen more.
But the good people will get a job.
25 years ago, 30 years ago, I totally agree with you. I don't know so much today. I just don't know. I mean,
You can get a teaching job. You got a pulse.
That ain't no money.
Well, it's not any money, but you got to. You say get a job. That's two different things.
Yeah. Well, the purpose of the job though is to make one self-reliant.
Well, yeah, I was self-reliant. I was a teacher my whole life.
Well, you were different. Because today,
I didn't make. I provided for my family. We weren't wealthy, obviously, but we did okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
It
I
has
guess
some, there's some benefits to it that go beyond money.
like what?
Like you're with your children a lot. You get
That
to
a good
train.
thing?
Oh, it's a very good thing.
Okay.
It is. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
Different cultures.
I had an opportunity to do a couple of other things along the way, and I didn't do it. And I didn't do it because it was going to take me away from my children a lot. Would have made more money, but what's more valuable? The time I spent with them or the money I would have made?
The money you would have made though would have made the time that you did have to spend more.
I doubt it.
Well, maybe not, but you could have gone more places.
I didn't just take my children to school. I taught all three of them for 5 years each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, but I enjoyed it. And 2 out of 3 majored in agriculture. My daughter works in agriculture now. You know what Caleb does.
Yeah.
And then my little one's an engineer. He's the one that's made the money. He's making more money at 25 than I ever did in education per year.
Of course, now he did take a discipline that actually is relevant.
Well, mine was too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But,
Yeah.
but agriculture is something that we all benefit from or take part of, either directly or indirectly.
Sure. An engineer is too. He's doing something. In fact, he's working for a company, and they do. It's a technology company that helps the military do their job, and it's surveillance and things like that. So it's through drones and satellites and things like that.
What's that got to do with agriculture?
That one, he majored in engineering.
Oh, engineering. Okay.
Yeah, the other one, the oldest one, Caleb majored in agriculture.
Yeah.
Casey majored in agriculture. The little one is an engineer. He's a computer engineer.
Oh, okay. Well, you got it. Yeah.
You know, all three of mine did go through college.
Yeah. I never had a desire till I joined the Army, and then I was in Honolulu. And I said, I'm going to do something with my time.
Yeah.
So I took a few courses in philosophy, and I didn't want to stay in the classroom all day long with anybody. Nobody. I did correspondence courses and things of that nature. I guess correspondence courses were the first, for all intents and purposes, online learning. I don't, and that's the only thing I don't I don't trust online learning.
Well, I think it's deceptive. It isn't like being in the classroom. It's not like taking tests in the classroom. So, and somebody else can sit there and do the stuff for you.
Although they do have cameras, but all you can do is put a picture in front of the camera.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if figure a way out of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it truly. That's why I sent my son to leave. I want, because he loved the online thing. We have to sit in the room like a child like that.
Yeah.
There's no interaction. No nothing. But what I can't now they do take the kids and take them down to once a year. They take them down to Impact, and they have them test to see whether or not the information that was delivered to them actually made it.
Yeah.
So he did pretty good on the test. But then again, I didn't see the test, so I don't know. I just think that the curriculum has been dumbed down to the point that almost anybody can pass. I don't know.
According to which track you're on.
I guess.
You're on the right track. You can't make that.
I think taking the best and brightest out of our classroom and leaving those people back, leaving other people who are not as smart as you back is not a good idea. I think there ought to be an environment in those schools because I finished school only because there was a smart kid in my classroom who I wanted to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're never going to be like him. He just.
Yeah, when you draw them away, you carry away leadership, example.
You do, and then mediocrity becomes the standard.
And the thing is, some will elevate from that, but they're still mediocre. That brings the whole group down. That's a fact.
And this IEP crap. This has got to be the biggest bunch of bull crap I've ever seen. He has ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. I looked at my board member and said,
It is recommended by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine for anyone who cannot.
so now you can turn off the desk in your classroom, you can cuss out the teacher, you can do all kinds of things and put it on IEP. I said,
It justifies poor behavior.
it does. And I don't get it. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, in a decrease of your
If you can label something, you can get money for it.
Yeah, I guess you can.
There's money made in labels.
Now, when I got here in 91, I got in 91, they were having this, give everybody lithium, give everybody this, and give everybody that, and he can't help it because his mama's, got drug problems. Okay, what's that got to do with you?
Folks in Otaga and Elmore counties know the difference between right and wrong.
But that ain't my
If you
issue.
can say one
I
thing
got
or
a
another,
bigger issue.
It's time for change.
I've been asking the question for
Jerry
days
Starnes
now.
is a change
Nobody's
in the
come
right
up with it.
direction. He's a husband, a father, and a Christian conservative.
See, you
Jerry
come-
Starnes is a Purple Heart decorated veteran. Jerry Starnes is a man of strong
All right,
character,
then.
a man who loves his wife, and a man you can trust. Paid for by Jerry Starnes for State House.
So what's so Kelly, when he went over to Faulkner, he was the hog guard or something?
He was a resident director.
Okay.
He was over all the mail.
Okay. Now what's he doing now?
Well, he's still director of the building, but he is the esports coach for Faulkner University.
The esports?
Access to
Video
over
games.
1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card
They have
from
a
Capital One.
they have started a video game team for the university.
Well, you can make money. I mean, they
Oh,
can,
yeah.
And there's a strategy to it. I mean, I guess if you can have a class on gender studies.
That'd be a fast class for me.
Can be very easy thanks to LifeLock by Norton.
So was he planning on going into agriculture or he just took it other traditional?
I don't know. I mean, I would say this: he should have gotten a straight communications degree instead of an ag degree.
It seems like he likes doing it.
Yeah, because he ended up doing radio. Not a bad idea. But anyway, he started in radio because he used to co-host with me.
Where did you do radio at?
I had a show in Prattville.
On whose station?
1410. Ohio Sports Show.
What crazy guy?
I had a preacher with me.
Okay. I was up there for a couple of minutes, but
Yeah.
Greg Mellos was
Yeah, Greg was
crazy as crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a different kind of cat.
Yeah, it was. And good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Friday. It's 7 o'clock or 7 something this morning. The numbers are 860-1440, just in case you want to call or something like that. After I got a guest. It's not really a guest. He's a shotgun rider today. Okay. So I don't know who's on the phone already, but we'll take that call and then we'll get to my main question this morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Yeah, but that wasn't it. Yeah, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. Okay then. All right then. Okay then. So, Ed, we got an issue here. I told him I don't think man could really love God. Okay. Now we can say we do, but whether we actually do or not, well, that's a whole different. But it depends on how you define it. It depends on how you define it.
Yeah, and that's an abstract. I mean, you have to make a judgment on whether or not it's true love.
Right. Or it's an abstract.
And I think we can because I think it's possible, and I think we do it.
But you do it by doing things.
Sure.
Yeah, not just saying, because every time I think of love, I think of this nice, warm feeling and a good hug.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, you can't hug God.
God can motivate you to do things God like.
Yeah. But I guess it just depends on. Anyway, that was yesterday, correct? That was yesterday. Here's my question for you this morning. You were a teacher for how many years?
27.
Okay, that's almost a half a lifetime.
Yeah.
Here's my issue, and I can't get a member of the board. I haven't been able to get any teachers do this, and let me make sure I get this thing completely right. Because I know I don't write stuff down. I just go after, I just go after them. I just do my thing. So, here is a question that I can't seem to get an answer to. So maybe some of you, even you, can give me an answer. The word failing schools is the biggest moronic piece of crap designation that I've ever heard from anybody. This is the only part of it. First of all, no school fails. No school. There's not been brick and mortar that has ever failed. Okay. Now, if a tornado comes along and blows the school, blows the school down, the school.
Yeah, but you're getting in semantics there.
But semantics matter.
They do matter, but that's like saying the church. The church is a group of people. The church is not a building.
Well, that's true.
That's absolutely true.
The
same thing with a school. School is people. A school is not brick and mortar.
Right. But we designate them as failing schools. Okay, so
we got bad schools.
We do. But the word no school has ever failed unless it's been blown down by a tornado or something like that. But that's not the big issue.
No.
First of all, people in the school fail. Okay, not the school itself.
Yeah.
The administrators, the teachers, collectively, not maybe individually. You got some teachers that are doing a great job, but they're getting tired of the environment, blah, 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 blah. But here's the problem. If McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, if their sales were going down, if the performance of their stores was going down, in the military, if the first sergeant, if I come to commander and the first sergeant couldn't motivate us to get the job done, they would never come in there and get rid of the privates. They would come in there and get rid of the senior non-commissioned officers and the officers that are in charge. Here's my question. Nobody can tell me when they designate a school failing out here in Alabama, they go in and tell the parents, you can move your children to another school. So the school system messed up. So now I have to take on extra added financial burden to put my child in another school that's quote unquote designated as non-failing. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life when it comes to school. It's one of the dumbest things.
Being able to move your students?
Now, why should I have to move my child? They should move the people who teaching at the school who can't seem to get the job done. So now you're going to make me get an additional financial burden to have to now get up earlier in the morning, maybe get another job, even lose a job to get my child on some other part of the country, on the part of the county, because why? And we still leave the kids back in the same environment who can't afford to go to another school. Why don't we fire the administrators and the principals of these schools?
Okay, let's say for just a moment you're an administrator. Here's your problem. You can't get rid of the people that you would like to get rid of.
You can fire them from that school. You can put them.
Yeah, you can't. As a principal, you try to do that, and goodness knows I hate to take up for principals there.
No, let's get rid of the principal too. Let's put them all in a basement someplace. You should not cause me harm because your system messed up. You shouldn't cost me money. You shouldn't cost me time because you messed up.
You have to do a judgment value there. Is it worth it, child, to go out of the way? Is it worth it for your investment to send them to another school and inconvenience you for taking them to a better school?
See, you're missing my point. Wait. You're missing my point. Wait. The only difference.
Exactly your point.
Okay. The only difference in the school that they're going to and the school that they're at is the personnel.
Oh yeah.
So why not switch personnel? Why not
because your proposition with this to effectively help your situation is to move all the good faculty and principals from one school to another one.
Why not?
Because the one you left will then be in the same situation.
That's the school's problem.
Yeah.
Then again, it makes no sense to put the burden on me. I work for TJ.
Yeah, you are in charge of your child's education.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you
No,
absolutely.
no, 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 no,
You're
no, no.
responsible for
I'm
that.
sorry.
Oh, you're absolutely
No, no, no,
responsible.
no.
You're not responsible for your own child's education.
No, I'm
And you don't
responsible.
take responsibility
I'm
for
responsible.
eating, drinking,
Wait.
brushing their teeth, or anything else. That's whose responsibility.
I'm
is that?
responsible for getting him to the designated places of education in our community, which
But
is
that's
our
not
school.
working. It's your responsibility to make sure he gets it.
And that's what I'm doing. Let's get rid of the teachers and the administrators of the school. Why make me move my child? That's
They're
crazy.
Making you do anything.
But they are. If they telling me that they had a quote unquote failing school, then that means that the people in that school are not succeeding at their chosen profession.
Yeah.
So why not move them?
So you're saying move all the teachers?
Yes, they're failing.
Because you don't like the way your school is turning out.
Wait a minute. They made the designation, not me.
Yeah.
So if the school
But
system,
then they're giving you the option to move them.
again, why should I have to move my child?
Don't be so lazy, Elkins.
That's not the
You
point.
can drive your child
No.
3 more miles.
It's going to cost me more gas.
So
more.
what?
So why not?
Is your child's education worth it?
See, no. It's not that easy. Don't blame it on me. They failed, so now I have to pay.
Sure.
That's crazy. I'm already paying for the school.
If it's valuable enough for you, then you make the sacrifice.
No. Listen, that is
you're responsible for your own child's education.
That is people's philosophy who live in great neighborhoods and who got a car that don't break down every 10 minutes when you go down the road.
I made sure my children went to a good school.
And that's why can't every school be a good school?
Well, that's the multi-million-dollar
So
question.
So when we move my children from I moved Z from one school to another,
right?
That doesn't help anybody who's left back in this school with the same personnel.
If your kid's a good kid and you attest that he is, then it probably hurt the school that he left because of his influence and ability and academic ability and those kind of things, his leadership ability.
But
it hurts that past.
See, you've been indoctrinated in the system because you've been a teacher a long time. Yeah, because I should not have to move my child.
Well, don't move him. But nobody cares. Do you think we care if you move your child or not? It's up to you.
No,
leave him where he is and get a bad education and
wait a minute.
That's on you.
Wait a minute. Education itself is not bad. The people who are giving it out, distributing that education are bad. Why do you guys got this thing? But you can't move these people why we got a bad element in that school and most.
I'm not saying you.
So why
fire
not
bad teachers?
We ain't talking about fire. We ain't talking about fire because I know.
About moving.
I'm talking just move them someplace. If
you move people all the time.
You want me then move?
Montgomery, they move people.
Hey, move the whole staff.
Yeah, but the whole staff's probably not the problem.
Then move the leadership immediately.
That bathwater baby thing comes to mind with that.
Yeah. But again, you keep saying send my child to a good school. Well, every school is supposed to be good.
Oh yeah.
So why should I?
Yeah.
So schools don't. You will agree, schools don't fail. Teachers and administrators fail.
Oh, I believe it's a personnel problem. Yeah, but it's also a system problem.
But who runs the system?
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so get rid of them and let my child stay in school.
In Montgomery County, I've talked to someone, an administrator, on your radio program. I point blank asked him, and this is the crux of the problem right here. I asked him on your show, you had him as a guest, sitting in this chair. I said, I've been an educator for a long time. I've been retired. Y'all are having problems getting people to teach here. I said, if I came to teach for you, would you let me enforce discipline in my own classroom? He talked in circles and told me, well, we've got a system in place. You can take them to the office. And I said, I would not work for you. You don't let me be an adult. You don't let me be a professional and an educator and to handle my own situation. As a result of that, I'm not going to have someone else handling everything for me and filling up your office with people and the backlog of that, which will never accomplish anything with the discipline in my own room. Okay. That won't work.
Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Deputy.
Morning.
Good.
Okay. To your guests now, I've been sitting there listening to you guys, but to your guests now, haven't the Republican or so-called conservative party been in control of the school system for over 10 years or so?
In Montgomery County,
what's that got to do?
I'm talking about the state of Alabama. Haven't the Republican party been over the school system?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, essentially, yes.
Why is it then that they fix the problem about critical race theory? They fix the problem about the little boys want to change or girls want to change the sex at a young age or whatever. Why they think that it ran through legislation and the government on TV bragging about it in her ad.
Mm-hmm.
She fixed the discipline in the schools as well.
I believe that's a lawyer issue. I believe that's a lawyer issue. You asked me why, and I answered the question. I think that I don't think it's a party situation. I think that we've got so much regulation in place in schools that the teachers don't, or any administrators don't have any control on the discipline to a great degree on their own students.
And that's because the teachers have allowed it to get this way.
And it's, well, I'll say this. Go ahead.
Here's my thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, the critical race theory and the kid sexuality and all that, they say that's personal with the kids. But when it comes to, okay, since you're the head man in charge, you should come up with something and say, hey, I'm gonna hold the parents responsible for these hard-headed kids or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Threaten to lock them up or whatever. I build a school like they did in Birmingham for the LBGT for all the bad kids and put them in that in each city, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Got all these other buildings to be even good, couldn't it?
Yeah, maybe so, but that's not the direction they're going to go.
Mm.
I'd rather do that than taking the kid out of school running every time.
That's right. Every time something fails, we got to move the kids.
Everybody can't afford it.
Right. Gas and resources. No, fire these people, get them out of that school because obviously they cannot teach well. Now you've been a teacher a while, you kind of indoctrinated into the system, I got you. But they need to move them. Don't make me move my child. You move the people who fail in it.
I don't care if you move your child or not. Suits me. I mean, that's your child. Do whatever you want to do.
See, you're almost taking up for the system.
No, I'm not.
But you are.
Move it. I say move.
No, don't move them.
I'm not for bad schools. That's ridiculous.
There's no such.
Montgomery is one of the worst places in the United States.
But it's not the school. It's the people.
Well, yeah,
So why should I have to move my child rather than move the bad element from the school?
You shouldn't have to move your child.
That's right. I shouldn't.
Look, Kevin, again, we don't care if you move your child. We couldn't care less.
See, you've been a doctor. You give me that indoctrinal thing there. Okay.
No.
We'll be right back right after this. I know I'm right, but
whatever.
He's a teacher, and he's been indoctrinated, and you're overlooking the whole thing. Let me put it this way: if I had a flat tire on my car, I wouldn't go to the store and say change the engine. Okay. If I got a school that's failing, I'm not going to move the people who have been failed. I'm going to move the people that have failed them.
You come up with these abstracts that are not going to happen instead of improving.
It can happen.
Well, I think if you change the way that things are regulated,
it
will go a long ways toward that.
I'm gonna change before this conversation over. We'll be back. It is like beating your head against the wall. My child should not have to leave Lee High School because Lee High School, the teachers and administrators are failing him. I shouldn't have to pay extra when they put him in a private school. They should move every swing and chain in there out of it. Or they at the very least, the administrator. Well, no. Yeah, I don't really like the online thing. What it does, I want him to have the whole spectrum of experiences that most of us had in high school, good, bad, and indifferent. But to make me have to put him in that school, money out of my pocket when I'm already paying for public school, because the teachers, whether by neglect, whether by they just wore out, they can't do their job. And teachers are responsible for the current environment in school. You guys are. Now, you say,
so you're telling me, okay, let me give you an example. Maybe we can discuss this. Here's the difference. When I was teaching, the kids talked in class, did something I told them not to. I said, boy, get your button full and do 40 push-ups.
Right.
And straighten up.
I'm good.
Today, you can't do that.
But y'all let it happen. Teachers let it happen.
But I'm supposed to tell my principal, look, I'm going to do this anyway.
No, you don't.
I'm going to be.
You get everybody together that's a teacher, and y'all do it. Because the one thing about it, you can't teach people then if nobody's willing to work for you.
If he says, okay, I'm going to fire you if you make that child be pushed.
You got a college degree, so what? Up yours. I'm gone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, I'm gone.
But like anybody else, if you've got a wife and a family to feed, you okay, so I'm going to starve my children because this kid is not made to do
You
push-ups.
guys have college degrees. You've gone to school multiple years. Even
I was back to that. You don't let me have control of my classroom. I can teach anybody if you
That's
let me
right.
have
I
control
agree
of my
with you.
classroom.
But
Because I'm really good at what I do.
But you guys gave in to the lack of
I didn't give in to
discipline.
nothing.
Well, where'd all your buddies?
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't personally.
Till the last day I taught,
Yeah.
I still had kids doing push-ups.
Yeah.
I'd wear their tails out.
But again,
Ask them.
if all the teachers got together and said we won't put up with this, let's put it this way: George Patton was one of the greatest generals we ever had. If he was. But if all the non-commissioned officers said we are not going to work for George Patton, we're going to make an example out of a couple of them, because you can't have that, but they'll fire George.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so the school system is no different. If all the teachers said,
I was at a good school.
right, exterior, but what made it good?
Because we didn't
That's right.
put up with the crap.
That's right.
But down here, if you tried to change it here in Montgomery, at Lee High School, the first kid I said, boy, get your butt in the floor and do push-ups. You know what they'd say? I would be in the office, I would be chewed out, and you need to go somewhere else. They would get rid of me and not the kids.
Okay, and I say, good riddance.
The kids, I know that, but you ask how can you change it? And
You
it
got to
can
be
be
willing to
changed.
sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice.
And I wouldn't last 3 days in Montgomery.
Okay, but once people saw you willing to do it, other people be willing to do it.
They might be, but I could teach in Montgomery tomorrow.
Yeah.
Completed the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in
And I can assure you, if I would only do it with this condition, you let me run my own
for a
my
better quality of
classroom.
life. Available at Walmart.
And you let
I
me
agree with
do
you.
what,
I agree with you.
and if you do that, I can fix my
But
classroom.
teachers whip out. They will.
I wouldn't.
They whip out. Well, it's my job. We ask 18 and 19-year-old kids to go to war to protect our freedom and our way of life.
Mhm.
So you mean tell me the teacher's not willing to upward with this job if I can't run my stuff?
Yeah.
Yep. That's
I did that.
Yeah, I know you did. But most people won't do it.
And in Montgomery County, your system
Over
defends,
300 compact
You're-
mid-size full
It does.
they defend the criminal element in your school.
And if you're looking to sell your car,
They do.
we're buying. And
He
we'll
would
buy
beat
it
me
on the
back to the
spot with no
classroom.
trade-in
They would
required.
say, they would tell me how I had messed
We'll
up.
pay up to 4%.
But you guys are responsible for this, not you. The group, the collective group of teachers
Sure they are.
have allowed this to happen. You
In
can't have.
Montgomery, they want it to happen. They want a bad system.
How come? Why would they want it?
We are budget
Uh,
truck sales.
Take more people, there's more jobs, they're in the system, it works for them. Especially the administrators, they're not in the classroom anymore anyway, they don't have to fool with it.
Check us out online.
I would imagine there are people who are just as frustrated as you are.
Oh, yeah.
Working Montgomery. The problem is
They're good people down here, they're excellent educators down here.
we have lost our ability to stand up for ourselves.
Oh, I agree with that.
We've lost that. I ain't lost mine.
Oh, me either, you think I have?
Yeah,
I'm
no.
toe to toe with you any day of the week.
Yeah, but so our school kids will only do what you allow them
Oh,
to do.
absolutely.
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 But again,
Absolutely true.
it's
And this caller last getting into LGBT,
Yeah,
and that doesn't have anything to do
Yeah,
with any of
yeah.
this.
and
And that's just political people.
Yeah.
I'm not defending what the governor's saying. Good
Yeah, I
grief,
don't care
no,
what
that's ridiculous.
I'll get schools back to reading, writing, arithmetic.
See, this is what Tim James is saying.
and I agree with Tim James. I
I
totally.
do. I like him. In fact, we'll probably go for
I probably will. I just want some common sense.
And I think he has that, but even Tim, if he gets to be governor, he can't change that system where every kid's armed with a lawyer. The first thing I tell you is, I'll sue you. Some teachers are scared of that. You know, when I used to tell them my automatic response, boy, you better see if somebody's got something. You won't get nothing out of me.
Yeah. You better see- Hey,
Yeah,
here's
that's
another
what I
thing.
used to tell them. So I cut that off at the pass.
If our lawyers who work for the school system can't win a case, fire them.
Yeah.
Every time somebody threatens to sue you, okay, well then why the hell we got lawyers? we can't win.
Thing about it in education, they'll jerk the rug out from
Attention
under you. They
all
will
authors.
let you
Speech publishing
Sure.
is
there
looking
on
for
your own.
authors.
But the one thing about you guys are the only profession that everybody in this profession has a college degree of some sort. So
You're
you,
wrong. And other outlets. They handle all
You know?
aspects of the publishing process for
I know.
you. Printing, cover art,
Printing,
publicity,
you
copyright, and
And
editing.
you can
Call
teach
800-501-3689 now for your free
You-
author
you
submission
want
kit.
names?
That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit.
Well, one
Again,
guy's took my place. He only had
800-501-3689.
you get one
Hey,
year
you hear
degree?
me at my new
I thought the minimum
He had
was
a, he had a technical degree, like a welding degree.
Well, vocational, I can understand that.
Right here on News Radio
What if you
14.
teach?
Getting paid to do that anyway.
And good morning, everybody. 860-1440 is the number here. You can text me 241-9998. Let's go see who this is right quick. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hello?
Yes.
This is
Mm-hmm.
architect who built America. Black from Virginia and Maryland built the White House. Irish built the Capitol. Chinese built the Continental Railroad. They were called coolies. Blacks that worked on that railroad or that project were called.
Okay, but this ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with. I mean, we're talking about something else. What we're talking about, that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Well, you talked about the North America.
No, I didn't.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, not today. That was yesterday, maybe.
The Mohawks done the skyscrapers in New York.
Okay, let me tell you what we're talking about. We're talking about. I'm talking about this. Let me tell you what I'm talking. I'm talking about. Why do we allow the school system to put our kids in other schools rather than get rid of that bad element in the school, which is in the teaching profession? They have failed. Why is the responsibility put on me to put my child in another school? That's what we're talking about. Are you still there? Okay, probably not. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that was a different direction for the program. I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's not
about.
my wheelhouse there.
And still, I've been asking this question on Facebook for days. Nobody has yet to give me an answer to that question. Schools don't.
Why should you have to move your child?
That's right. Why not move the people that failed my child?
Well, why don't you go to the Board of Education and say, look, I don't want to move my child. Get rid of everybody over there at Lee and move some good people in here.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what you ought to. Well, do that.
Oh, I'll do it.
That's your option.
Yeah, I'll do it. But these are the
So the people on the board, you probably got the board members' numbers. And you can say, hey, they need to move everybody from Lee over to the other place because this one isn't working for me. Try that and see what happens.
Well, if enough of us want that to happen,
yeah, well then
it'll happen.
Kevin. That's how things sometimes are accomplished.
Well, I need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna help, brother?
I'm in Elmore County. We got enough to worry about up there.
It's got nothing to do with where you live, brother. It's got nothing to do with that. Nobody. Okay.
I don't have a stake down here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you do got a stake because the guy here who fails will be up there getting some nice house. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do got a stake in it.
I live in Wetumpka. I'm concerned.
We don't mind coming over to Wetumpka to get your TV.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay.
That just happened.
We don't care. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I just wanted to let y'all know that Alaska is part of the United States, and the Eskimos built the igloos, so.
Well, they did, yeah.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they shut the misinformation board down, and so.
Already. Yeah.
Information that comes off the radio now, we can go back and just put it out there, because we're not to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But so, what do you think about my proposal?
Parents don't have any problem loading their kids up and driving them to the other side of town to get in a good school instead of a good sports program. Isn't that right?
There you go. Absolutely right.
And I think that ought not be allowed either.
Well, I can tell you this, that happens all the time.
Well, That I think they're wrong because that doesn't help the school where they are.
No, it doesn't.
So,
but you're absolutely right, caller, in that they'll do whatever it takes with sports.
With sports, that's right. They
won't do it with academics a lot of times.
But do you understand what I'm telling you? I don't. The children should not have to be moved because grown people have failed them. The grown people should be moved.
Yeah, the school should be better. Nobody's arguing that.
And the way you make it better is to replace people that are bad.
Oh yeah. Fundamentally, I agree with that.
But the football coaches, the basketball coaches fail them and their teachers, but the parents move them from one county to another. Heck, they'll sell their house so they can live in a school district so their kids can play basketball.
Oh, absolutely. Or football or anything.
Well, yeah. Different things motivate different people. You know, so
I'll say this, caller. One thing, if we were motivated in education like we are in sports, we would have a lot better schools.
And if the teachers were allowed to control their classrooms like their coaches allowed to control this team, then my friends, we wouldn't have none of the problems we have.
That's absolutely true.
Well, there ought to be one standard.
Yes.
And it ought to be for academics, it ought to be for sports, it ought to be for utility rings.
Yep.
You think sports shouldn't be in school? I'm just asking.
Oh, it should be in school. It should be there, but they ought not be given this big old pedestal to sit them on, and some of them dumb as an bucket of water. So I don't.
The last 3 exchange students I've had are Spain, Italy, and France. They don't have sports programs in their schools. None of the 3 countries.
That's why this is called the USA.
Oh, I know it is.
Yeah, we like sports.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
they have sports after school. It doesn't have anything to do with school. Yeah. But here's one of the problems, though, Kevin. Their academics are higher than ours.
Okay. Well, they got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe that's why Alabama is like what, number 49, number 50 now in the country.
We're low 40s for sure.
Yeah. Well, again, and part of that problem is because teachers have allowed this environment to fester in our schools.
Blames the teachers.
I am. I'm blaming all of you guys for this.
Yeah.
You guys let it go. You let it keep going, and now it's to the point it's out of control. Y'all did it.
Well, I'm going back to my nice
Okay.
Okay.
Good morning. Who's this?
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning to you, Jeff.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
You know, I've just been dealing with the school system. I know a lot of things.
You sound like a teacher too.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm not.
You got a teacher voice. You got a teacher's voice, though.
I'm just an educated person.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay. But I've been dealing with those issues with the school system. A lot of people don't know a lot of things that I did which benefited other students besides my own 2 children, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things I had to point out to them in due process hearings. Kevin, it's the bureaucrats that messing everything up. And I keep telling you, you don't understand this. We are stakeholders, but we're the only stakeholders that's listed in the Code of Alabama that they don't let come and discuss issues about who they're going to hire or make any decisions about that. It's people who don't even have children in the school system. They have ulterior motives. See, they're getting a lot of most of the federal money. Now, I will disagree with your guest. There are standard policies and procedures concerning disciplinary action.
Oh yeah, they don't implement them either. A lot of times they don't implement those either.
That's the problem.
Amen. Yeah. Oh yeah, looks like a Bible, the rules. I was just going to say, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's there's a policy manual in place. Absolutely.
But you have to follow it.
Yeah, you do.
And it goes from one step to start where they classroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts in the classroom. Then if the teacher cannot handle the problem, you got to make some kind of attempt to
handle that problem instead of just sending them to the policies and procedures does not say just send a person to the office, a child to the office. It does not say that there are different steps that you're supposed to take. And the reason that you have those different steps so everyone will be in compliance. All disciplinary actions are not handled in the same way. There are disciplinary problems in the magnet school that you're not going to hear about. They smoke drugs. They use drugs in the magnet program.
Well, they use drugs in every school in the country.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to say, the magnet program a lot full of a lot of good exclusive kids. That they're smart. They get bored too. Okay, they're very intelligent, so it's not very much that a teacher's gonna have to do with those particular kids. Whereas you have another set of kids that have learning problems, so they're coming through school system with the particular skills that they needed. And we're getting mad about that. We want them to send them home to their parents, send them to the dumb kids' school, send them to, some of those kids are a lot smarter than these callers are, if you really want to know the answer.
Maybe.
They're a lot smaller, smarter than some of you, if you work with them. Now, we know that, oh, you're just a thug, and you talk to them. So teachers act just like we say the students act. They act faggots.
But nobody still answered my question why there's no law that says you cannot replace bad teachers in the school. You can't fire them.
Yes, you can.
We settle for that as parents.
Well, I'm not selling it. Right, they have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that we got to work and put the point where it is. It's not the children, it's the whole
school. Right. They the kids, right. This is not got anything to do with the kids. Kids. Yeah. Yeah, I got to tell you. All right. Hey, got to take a break. Wilbur, thank you very much. Yeah, first of all, don't get me wrong. This got nothing to do with the kids. Kids do what they're told to do, what you expect them to do. And matter of fact, a lot of them get bored and disappointed when the boundaries are not set. Okay. So they don't find out about how far the boundary is until they do something. And then you let them continue to do it, then they're going to think it's just part of the operating procedure. Okay. So it's not about the kids. It's about grown folks.
I agree with that part.
Who's supposed to be in charge.
I agree with that.
Yeah. We'll be back. But again, nobody still told me that nobody still said we can't do what I suggest we do. You just can't fire them without going through the due process. But you can put them in a basement somewhere. Let them work in the lunchroom. If they cannot teach, let them serve kids dinner.
Well, you can fire teachers.
And it's a process.
It's an act. Congress should do it, but
we
unless
talk about
it's
firing them, talking about getting them out of that position where they're supposed to teach. If your school is designated as failing, that means every swinging dick in there needs to go. Everybody.
So there you again, you're throwing out the name with the maps.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Still no major problems or accidents. Nothing reported to send you on an alternate route. Check with the surrounding counties. They're all clear. You keep listening, and we'll keep you posted. Summer registration is going on now through May 26th at Trenton State. Change your life. Call Trenton State or go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up for Montgomery Skywatch. This is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, Call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. The price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Pastor Mike, and I'm asking on May the 24th that you go and vote Fernando Morgan for family court judge. Fernando Morgan, a long-term Democrat. Fernando Morgan is also endorsed by the MCDC, and he brings loyalty and honesty to the table. His opponent went to bed as a Republican, but she woke up as a Democrat. You can play with some people, but you undercover Trump supporters won't tarnish this election. Let's send the strong. I didn't say by temperament. Go out and vote. But by educational level, anybody who's been
we can. So you're thinking that we need less educated teachers?
If you're teaching high school curriculum and you've got a high school diploma, shouldn't you be able to disseminate information?
That might have been true at one time, but I doubt it.
Well, not today.
I doubt it now.
Not today.
I don't know. And there was a time when a high school person, if they passed the test, could teach.
Yeah.
Folks in Watauga and Elmore counties know the difference between right and wrong.
I don't think you need to teach college courses, but you certainly ought to be able to teach high school.
It's easier to teach college than it is high school.
Yeah, because most of the responsibilities on
Jerry Starnes is
I taught 10 years in the military program.
Jerry Starnes is a man of strong character, a man who loves his wife, and a man you can trust. Paid for by Jerry Starnes for State House of Representatives.
They were really good students.
Prattville, Alabama, 36066.
That was very unfamiliar.
One and only. K.I.
Washington wants to control everything we do.
Yeah.
That isn't happening here in Alabama. We do
You know
not
what
teach
bothers
hate
me
to
about
our
the governor's
kids.
race?
We do not pay people to quit work.
Is none of them on
And
their
we do not
advertisements
use tax
are talking
dollars
about
to kill our
anything that actually will improve the state.
Exactly.
They're talking about guns.
I'm so tired of hearing about guns.
and,
The
and
Republicans, I don't know what to
critical
do.
theory and all that other stuff that doesn't help a thing, really.
can ever be
It's
so-
symbolic
But
of
that's not all.
their philosophy, but
Core out of our schools.
And I don't know who the hell they talking to. I don't.
well, they're hot button issues they've got to get in just a few seconds, and that's
The conservative
well, there for that. I'm for it too.
loves to hate.
So
Meemaw,
Greatest country in the world.
we're just, you know why we're proud of Meemaw?
But here in
She hadn't
Alabama,
gone to
we
jail.
always.
I mean, we hadn't had to go to a long time, hadn't been in danger of going to jail. We're just proud of that.
Well, I think they screwed them. I do. I think they screwed them. They just didn't like
Dan Bongino.
extra Christmas
Weekday from 2
activity.
till
But
5 p.m.
I think it was pretty good stuff.
Radio 1440.
That's just
Depend
me.
on it.
Yeah, that is just you.
And don't forget, next week it is Top Gun. We'll be at the theaters, and me and Z gonna be there. I don't care if everybody's got COVID. We'll wear 2 masks, but we're gonna watch that show. We're gonna watch that movie.
Top Gun.
Yeah, I love me some Top Gun. Let's go back to phone real quick. Good morning. Yes.
Good morning.
Well, I know what they are.
A few years ago that came from Atlanta. His wife had several years of primary education. Spoke to several principals for women to hire, but it required HR opinion to the principal. She never could get sent to the principal because they would hire new teachers out of Alabama State. The system is really riddled with nepotism. They don't try to get the best teachers. They try to make sure that their brothers and sisters and their son-in-law have jobs.
There's some of that goes on out there. That's
Well, as long as they can teach, I don't care who they related to.
You just figure it in the wind. If you care about public education, and private education.
Again, but that's my problem. Why should we have to spend additional money when we're paying? Right.
No.
Well, if everybody keeps saying that, it never will. Okay.
People willing, especially black people, are willing to say, "I've got enough of my third grade getting read."
Well,
If they get fed up with it, then it'll never be. They keep hiring the same people. They keep putting the same people back on the board.
All right, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. I'm gonna say this. I can't tell you how to. I'm just saying this. I'm making a point. I can't tell you how to prepare, and I can your radio station. I can't tell you about your rules and what guides you and what regulates you. One can assume. You see, just like when I was in law enforcement, until you actually put on that uniform, you have not a clue what it means to be a law enforcement.
Amen to that.
And until you actually jump out of a plane, you have no clue what a PLF is stand for, which is pull, landed, forward. You have no clue. So until you're in the trenches and everything, you cannot say what a teacher does and what they cannot do, because the teachers are governed by policy, and the administrators are governed by the board, and the board is governed by the state board. And you were right as far as funding and everything and how their hands are tied. Trust me, the teachers in the classroom are doing the best they can. You do have some bad apples,
Sure,
just like you do in any other profession or what have you. So until you're there, you cannot say what they are and what they're not doing. That now,
Right, but nobody's still answering my question. The question is, fine, why not get rid of them?
Kevin, why not get rid of everybody in law enforcement? Why not get rid of everybody in the military that are bad apples, Kevin?
We tried to. We tried to in the military. You know that.
They do in the public school system. It's what you call pink slipping.
they do.
They exactly. They pink slipping, Kevin. Then they decide on whether or not they want to bring them back the following year. So they're doing things like that. But I'm gonna tell you, 50% of the problems in your school system is that the students don't show up. You can't teach who are not there. And so that's 50 to 60% of the problem right there. So you cannot force. You cannot teach a seat when there's
Right. But Marty, the fundamental the question is being asked. There's no such thing as a failing school. People in the school fail. Why should the parent? Wait. Why should the parent have to move their child from one school to another?
And I will say this, also taking offense to assume that every black person moved their kids across town to play sports. And that's not true, Kevin.
I didn't say everybody.
No,
he didn't say everybody. But you know what happens. I know some folks who went to. I know some people who've done it.
Look at the implication, yes, but I know a whole lot of
Yeah.
people through myself who put my son in private school, and my daughter was fortunate enough to go to magnet school,
Mhm.
and everything, because you want what's best for their education. Now, I'd also taken offense to say, well, the kids are, it's easy in magnet school. Well, no, my wife and I had to sit up many a nights to assist our daughter in magnet school. So the parents work. The difference between some parents and everything, whose kids are in one school or another, is the parent willing to put up the work and work with their children.
Bingo.
Value, but also,
Wait, hold it. Let me say something about that. Education is the only profession where people get paid to do something, and then when you fail, you talk about the parent didn't help. I send my child to school to be educated by the educators. That's why I sent them.
Either one of your sons got a bad report as far as conduct issues,
Yeah.
as far as performance in school.
I'm on it.
Exactly.
But I'm not a teacher.
Kevin, it's because of you and your wife and everything that your son is doing the best he can in school. When you have parents that don't show up, when you have parents that are smoking weed with the children,
I know, but when you move their school 15 miles on the other side of town and they don't have cars to get there and the bus system don't work, how can they get there?
You know what I think, Kevin? You need to get our caller over here in this chair sometime and have him on as a guest.
He's a liberal.
I don't care.
He's a liberal.
I'm just saying this because you're talking to somebody who's been around a while.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's ideology versus reality. Yeah, and the reality is that you should not have to move your child if a school system fails you. You should move the people who fail.
Yes, and the reality is you shouldn't have to buy a Chevy when you could buy a Ford. But Ford, remember, is staying profound on the road dead. You have a choice no matter what you want. Do you want a Ford? Do you want a Chevy?
Okay, that's apples and oranges.
Well, school with parents. So you can't assume
Wait a minute. Okay, isn't a job of a teacher to teach? Isn't that their job? Okay, so why is it that we blame the parents?
It's also the job of the administrators,
The system. Right, the system.
But you can't blame it on the teachers.
And you can't blame it on the parents all the time either.
You cannot send a man to war without arming him with a weapon and communication.
Okay, all right.
You can't do
Well, I appreciate the call.
Y'all still haven't answered my question. There's no law that says you cannot fire people. You cannot move people from a failing school to another school. We're not talking about pink slipping. We're not, because if you pink slip somebody and you bring somebody else in that does the same thing, what good is pink slipping? Bullcrap, bullcrap.
Oh,
the teachers make a strong administrator. Because I've been a student. I've been a student in schools. I've been a student. I'm a professional student. Because he hadn't been in radio, but I've been a student in school, a few of them. I have been a product of the education system like everybody else in America.
You're in your 60s. And it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Well, I can all tell you that the teachers are responsible for where we are in this situation in school by putting up with junk from administrators. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you. Wait a minute. If every non-commissioned officer in the whole division decided we're not going to work for that general, do you believe that they'd get rid of all the non-coms, or would they get rid of that general? Okay. That's true, but I'm telling you that the lower level people have more power than they are given credit for. They're educated. They're educated. They ought to be able to get another job. They ought to be able to get another job. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll be able to get another job. Hey, gotta run.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams, WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday.
He works at ASU.
The Alabama Education Association is taking
again,
the county school district to court.
Teachers out of all our professions ought to be people who shouldn't worry about a job. 95% of them at least have college degrees. They can get
what I was going to say right now, in particular right now, there are pink slip people all over this
Sure, because it's that time of year that they do that, and then they either bring them back or don't bring them back. I got that part, but that's not my issue.
How would you have reacted in the military and they came up every year and said, okay, we got to decide whether we're going to keep you or not?
Well, now, listen, let me tell you something. When I was in, they had reduction in force. Those things did come up. And that means that you better prepare yourself just in case they rip you with your reduction in force. You know, if they said we don't need you anymore, we don't need you anymore. I mean, they used to do that. If you were
talking about me being indoctrinated. You've been indoctrinated in the military.
That's right.
You think everything ought to be handled like the military.
That's right.
And people have tried to do that out there.
But discipline is universal. Discipline is universal. Whether it's military.
Let me tell you what would happen. I was going to bring this up with your son.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
It's wonderful to be back in Republican
career. He would say,
Dad, today on his first trip to Asia since he took office. He's meeting with leaders of two countries for talks on trade.
And that's a point about this. The only people that know whether or not a teacher is good are the kids sitting in that class.
Yeah. My son told me the other day, I said, what are you guys doing at school? He said, we're procrastinating.
The company is building in Texas. The goal is to reduce
You ought to be an expert at that.
I said, what? I said,
teenagers are experts.
He said, basically, we're not doing anything. We're just showing up just to get out of the deal. Yeah. Procrastinating.
Yeah.
I'm over there, let him stay home. He can do that at home.
Yeah. You can.
Oh, well. But nobody still answers the question. There's no law saying you can't do it. I'm suggesting we do. A school does not fail. People fail in the school. So you designate the school. Now me who live over here, right down, and here's the school here. Now I've got to go from here to way over here to a school that has been designated not failing. But now that trip used to be from here to here, now from here to here, which is going to cost me money, time, and resources that I may or may not have. But I got to do that because the people at your school failed. That's unfair. It's unfair to my child. It's certainly unfair to me.
You are not dedicated enough to take your student from this one to this one.
I shouldn't have to.
That's on you.
I shouldn't have to.
You have a
shouldn't have to do
you
that.
have a window of opportunity for your child.
That's true.
Education.
That's true.
And if you blow it, that's on you.
Well,
You can blame the system if you want to.
Don't they have a window of opportunity to teach the children the way they're supposed to?
You see, as an individual teacher, all I can actually control is what's going
It's
on.
in your classroom. But shouldn't the standard be the same for everybody that teaches? So we keep making excuse. It's the only job where if the teachers don't do their job, you blame the parent. If you gave me your computer, said my computer's messed up, I gave you your computer back, so that's $100, but I didn't fix it. You're gonna leave me like I'm crazy. Well, that's what teachers do. They blame us. If I was a teacher, he wouldn't be in school. I'd be teaching them myself.
Here's the thing: if that child will do what I ask him to do in the classroom, he won't fail.
Right, I agree with you. But what if they designate your school as a failing school?
Let me tell you what I used to do. I'm gonna bring this up if you want to.
Yeah.
My beginning role and my ending role, two totally different things. The first group of kids walked in my room. In the first 2 or 3 days, I'm looking at people. I need to get rid of that. Get rid of my whole system. And my role would look totally different. I actually marked out people. They don't need to be here. I'm gonna try to help them get out of here. Because I don't want them.
But
in
that's
my
the kind of teacher I
environment.
want to. I want a teacher that commands their environment. That's what I want.
I control mine.
That's what
I didn't get rid of everybody I wanted to get rid of, but I did a bunch of them.
Now, before it's too late, Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the
And somebody said, so what is a failing school? And that's another thing I want. What is a failing school?
One that you have to be able to
you could save thousands, and nobody knows
quantify that
Yeah.
by a score of some sort. And that's a test. And that's what somebody designates as a test. An individual person, that's more difficult to measure.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Nobody's still answering my question.
800-343-6460.
Because I should not have to move my child because you failed. I shouldn't have to do that. And I shouldn't have to put them in a private school, incur an additional amount of money that I'm already paying a high money on my time. My rent, my taxes going up on the house, everything's going up. So because they told me that if they had more money, they could do a better job.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
Well, I've been saying that down here.
Yeah, I know. I know they was lying in, but I don't want. but I don't want to be an impediment in that process.
Yeah.
So I said, okay.
So are you happy with where he's in school? At least.
Yeah, except for when I walk in there, the disorder and the disarray and the chaos that I see sometimes. He told me they was vaping in school, they're cussing, they're making all kind of noise. That is a grown-up problem. The grown people won't take charge.
Do you know what my job is now?
Who's that?
Mine. I work for Alabama FFA. I've got 13 counties and I visit schools and help them with agriculture programs. I'm in schools all over the place. I taught 2 classes last week. Yeah, I help young ag teachers. That's what I do.
Okay. They still teach that in school? What school they teach agriculture in?
Got about 300 of them in Alabama.
Okay. It ain't leave.
No, that's one of the problems. They don't have agriculture. They don't think they need it over there.
Because getting outside and learning how
They don't want to teach it over there. That's not cool.
Okay.
I mean, I'm serious.
Well, listen, if they hit the right EMP, hey, we all gonna be living on the earth.
Lanier used to have an ag program. Pike Road's got one. Park Crossing's got one. They've got ag programs. This is my county. I visit schools in this system.
So why don't we have one?
At Lee? They don't want one at Lee. They can have one at Lee.
There ain't nothing like touching the earth. There ain't nothing like.
They don't want one at Lee. I'm telling you.
Oh,
they don't want one at Lee.
I guess we want video games and.
I don't know what they want, but not that. They don't want one. They don't.
Are you looking to sell your car?
Wow.
Sell it on the spot?
Anyway.
At every school in Elmore County, they've got an ag program, an agriculture program. But then down here, y'all think you know better. Guess what? Schools in Elmore County are lots better than the ones.
They are. We are.
They just are. Schools in Otago County, lots better than they are here.
This urban personality that our schools are taking. Yes.
You may take this the wrong way. I hope you don't. It's not intended that way. The only school in Otago County that doesn't have an ag program is practically an all-black school. And it's where all the farming is in the county. Some of the best agricultural land in Alabama.
It's
But they don't
cultural.
want one.
It's cultural. I
They
understand.
don't want one.
It's cultural. I understand that. And then why they don't want it, I don't know. But nothing's like dealing with the earth. There's nothing.
They don't want one.
It's
not because they haven't been asked.
Yeah, you can see things grow from something to nothing. I don't know.
Fernando Moore, along
But it's
Fernando Moore was also endorsed by
Well, I don't know. It's cultural, I guess.
It is, I suppose. There we go.
You can play with something, but you undercover something. Let's on May 24th. Go out and vote for Fernando Moore. Thank you.
Oh, well. Just try to find out the answer to the question. Or maybe it's
you're
the
not going to
question.
accept any answer anyway. I learned that a long time ago with you.
Yeah, well, if it makes sense,
Nah, it won't.
if it makes sense, I'll accept the answer. But there's no rational reason why we allow people in quote unquote failing school to continue to work in that school, or at least the leadership. Not every teacher. You blame
But now you
leadership.
changed it.
Huh?
Now you've changed your solution.
Well, because all teachers not bad. But
You just said now to get rid of teachers 3 minutes ago.
well, but everybody is a teacher. Isn't every principal at one time been a teacher?
99% of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, it still goes back to the teachers.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the teachers to this extent. If you're willing to accept the position that they put you in, they'll keep putting you in those positions. So until y'all willing to lose your job or fight for something that you're gonna always be the same. What did Albert Einstein say?
I was channel focused on my program. I was going to have a good program.
Right.
I couldn't worry about everybody else's program. But I guarantee I was worried about
But
mine.
you got a set of gonads. Gonads are in short supply these days.
Part of my job was to teach people to communicate.
Right.
That kid of mine, that biggest one's the product of it. He communicates real well.
Life insurance.
Caleb?
Yeah.
What if you could make one free phone
He's
call
good
and
at
learn
that.
the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's
I
exactly
think
what
we
happens.
talk about him. I
For
think
example,
he's going to end
George
up
is
getting
39.
a doctorate.
He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood
To
pressure.
confuse us more
When
about the
I
body.
shopped around, I found
Okay.
out 10 years.
Yeah, it does. All these scholars, wait a minute, all these scholars, and we got 3,300 different variations of religion.
And believe me,
So,
if
okay.
Select Quote isn't shopping for your life
It ought to be that
insurance,
confusing
you're
either.
probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 890-6688.
No, I like Caleb. Caleb's only missing one thing, and you can't get there until you get there. He is going to be, I think, very dynamic as he gets older. When you combine wisdom with intellect, you have a winning combination.
He's doing good. He's doing well.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Being a video game, I used to fuss at him all the time. You're wasting your time doing video games. He ends up making his living doing it.
Okay, before I get back to my guests, I got to tell you this is for the guys out there. Guys, have you heard of such a thing as low T? Well, let me tell you about it. When you were young, you could run everywhere. You had all that kind of energy. You had to get up at 3 o'clock every morning because you just had that. You were just energetic to go to school. You was ready to go. And now that you're 35, 40 years old, things don't all work the way they used to. Well, wait till you get 60. But don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. But however, it could be low T. I know some of you heard testosterone. Men have a certain amount of it we're supposed to have, unless you're a guy who wants to be a girl. But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the guys who wants to be men. Okay. Montgomery Men's Health. You need to go. You get to take for $99. You get to take a PSA test, which I think that's a prostate test that makes sure everything is working right. And you get the low T test to make sure your testosterone level is up. And if they find something wrong, they'll tell you the same day. They'll put you on a program, and you will feel better. You will have better mental clarity. You will have your what is that word when you run
Endurance.
Endurance. Okay, endurance is good. But there's another metabolism. Your metabolism will be better, and with that, you may. I'm not guaranteed you may can lose a little weight at the same time also. But anyway, low testosterone treatment can truly change your life. Most men, not saying all, but most men experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, and a couple other places too. You know what I'm saying? So don't, if you feel run down, have low libido, not exactly sure what libido is. I think that means the urge to want to engage. I think that's what that means. Yeah. If you don't want to engage anymore,
Intimate desires.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So we can do that technically. We don't have to, get down in the dirt with it. We can say it intelligently. So if you have low desires, this test may help figure out what the problem is. Okay. So give them a call, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. And it's called Montgomery Men's Health. Okay. Call them up. It's only $99. The best $99 you can spend. You need me to, John,
Listen, I took down, no, yeah. Listen, wouldn't hurt me to go at all.
Okay. Me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me either. Because, I didn't know much about tea.
And I'm glad we have Men's Health now. There are tons of places for women all over.
They're like, we don't even matter.
It's 10 to 1, but at least we have
like Father's Day. We're not going to hear a whole lot about Father's Day.
Not so much.
No, but Mother's Day, oh my. Yeah, but it wouldn't be no mothers if there were no fathers. We had fathers before we had mothers. I just want to get that point across. Good morning, who's this? Hello? Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah, turn your radio down, I think, or something. You got something up. Yeah.
When you're talking about those, let me get out my headset.
Okay.
You got a problem with the school is not failing like you said. It's the metric that they chose to grade those schools by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we look at it that way.
Metrics is what those, just like, okay, what does the teacher have to do if the kids don't come to school?
Oh, just report them.
Which we do every day.
Right.
Every day attendance is taken. We know about it immediately.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's part of the metric. How many times those kids they have to come to classroom? So if you get too many, you're going to fail. You're going to have a fail in school. So the metric is more than just A, B, C, C's, and math, science, and English.
How can we fail a school? And again, if you are correct, then I stand corrected. But how can you fail a school if a lot of people decide not to show up?
And he's right about that because attendance plays a role in it. It's part of the formula. I mean, it is. It's part of the formula. And they take it. Look, our funding is based on attendance.
Right.
The number of teacher units we get is based on attendance. All of those things. It's one of the reasons they push it so much.
So if somebody doesn't want to come to your class, aren't you still partly to blame?
If they don't want to come, you can't go to their house, Kevin, and go pick them up and feed them breakfast and bring them to school.
But that means you're not creating an atmosphere that is conducive. That's conducive to great learning. Yeah.
I think you're right about that.
Because I love going to school.
Mm-hmm.
I like my teachers, except for one who hit me in the mouth. But my mother liked her, so I just kept on going. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If a school is designated, and maybe you can answer this, John. If a school has been designated as failing, do they give you the reason why they fail?
Oh yeah, there's a test given on it. I mean, if you get a report on why
is that available to the public?
I think they put it on. I've seen it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You say if you want all your kids that they got to be reading at 80% or better in third grade.
Right. Well, they should be.
But then if you look below the third grade and see what did we prepare them to read by the time they got to the third grade, what did we prepare them to read at that level before they got there?
Okay. But now again, I still got to give that to the teachers, some responsibility to the teachers for that system. I got to give it.
Kevin wants us to go to their houses and pick them up in the morning too.
No, but I need you to, let me put it this way. Let's say out of 100 students you had 40 didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But if those 60 left back showed up and did excellent, how would that hurt you?
You still gonna have a failing grade because you ain't over 70%. You can't come to school.
Mm-hmm. That's a part of the formula. It's a percentage of it. It's not the entire thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Now you probably familiar with this, Mr. Elton. Okay. Do you hear me famous players up there in Alabama?
Yeah. Yeah. Name and likeness. Yeah.
The Mexican changed now. So that means he said Texas got too many billionaires out there, which means a come to Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was right, but hey, you know, that's the way it goes. My main man from Texas, Jimbo Fisher, whatever.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, he got all messed up and mad about that. Good morning. Who's this? Thanks for calling. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I have a question about your school like your son. Has he fell off?
Of course not.
Has he had the conduct problem?
Of course not.
Well, then your school ain't failing.
Well,
that's a good point.
No. But the question I'm asking. No. Here's the question I'm asking.
Z is passing everything, and he doesn't have a conduct problem.
No. Yeah, that's all I'm answering for. But again, the question is, if a school is designated as failing, why do they give me the opportunity to move him rather than to move the people, quote unquote, that have failed?
Because Z is one person, and Z is move one person, and moving all those people.
You can move all this. No, then all you really need to do is get rid of the leadership. You don't need to get rid of all the teachers. You can get rid of the leadership.
I want to get back to your point.
Yeah.
Your child is not failing because Z is passing. He's going to the next place.
Okay, but we're not talking about Z. We're talking about in general. No, I did not. No. Now, listen to what I said. Now, listen to what I said. I said, if a school is designated as a failing school, why is it that we got to take our kids and put them in another school? Why not take the people who fail? Okay, why not put the people who fail and put them someplace else? I don't know if Lee is considered failing or not. I just know the process is wrong.
Guarantee you Lee's not top 10%.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know much about the magnet thing, and I think the same qualitative. Wait a minute. I think the same quality of education should be given in every school. Right, and we'd have the same results, because everybody in the magnet. First of all, when you tell me the magnet criteria is a 2.5 GPA, that ain't much magnet to me. That's average. Yeah. Huh? Okay, but again, at 2.5 GPA, that's a C. Okay. So again, we went from a high grade to a high expectation down to an average expectation. And I guarantee, right, will you agree that there are probably kids in Lee School who could probably outdo some of the folks in the magnet school?
Sure there are.
So again, no. That's my issue is that if you designate a school as a failing school, why do the kids have to leave? Why not leave the leadership that's leading the school? Make them leave. That's my issue. Well, I'm voicing my opinion every morning. Then they throw me off. Then they throw me out of the school. And that wait a minute. If they're allowing me to make the kids suffer, then they certainly don't need to be there. I don't care. I haven't picked on any particular school. Mine is a theory, or at least a situation where if a school is designated as failing, why do I have to take the added additional cost and go to another school rather than get rid of leadership? That is the question this morning.
Amen. There you go. This is a lady that takes responsibility.
And so you're letting the system off once again. What's an M&M? So we couldn't get a good education in a black school? Oh, okay. How about that? Okay, but that was another public school, right? Okay, didn't cost you any extra money except driving over there. Yeah, well.
Yeah, but you said you didn't even want to drive over there.
Don't say I didn't say it wasn't worth it. Yeah, don't say I didn't say it wasn't worth it. I'm just saying, who's next? Okay, this guy right.
Can I before we get to the next call, I want to bring this point up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you brought in leadership, and you say leadership is the key, and I certainly agree with that. You've seen the movie Lean on Me.
I've seen it, and my man was a leader.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's an outstanding actor, and everybody who watches that, would Montgomery County, if they knew the end result would be outstanding, would they put up with a man like him?
Yes.
No, they would not.
I believe they would.
They wouldn't last a week.
I think we would.
They would arrest.
Okay, wait a minute. White people may not do it, but black folks would.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Guarantee. Wait a minute. We're already letting them do our kids any kind of way to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think then give me the same dedication that you do to sports to academics. I'm good.
I think Morgan Freeman would be run out of town on his ear.
I don't think
if he were to go in there and handle it like that.
I'm good. I would love the guy. I'd take the guy lunch every day.
Yeah, and he could do it, but they don't trust the people, and he wouldn't work within the system. And he's not a bureaucrat.
Yeah.
He wouldn't handle it here.
Good morning. Who's this? Yes, another teacher.
All right. Now, first of all, no, they wouldn't tolerate a Morgan Freeman. Okay, that wouldn't happen.
No.
But the second thing is, do you realize that what you said about taking all the teachers and restocking them and all? Ask your teacher there. Didn't they do that to Lee High School a few years ago? Didn't the school system the Montgomery Public Schools take over that school and made it even the teachers that taught there reapply for their jobs? Didn't they do that?
That may have happened. I don't know. I didn't keep up with it. I was worried about my own little red wagon in my place, but I'm sure it did.
Let me ask the teacher there too.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a son and you decided to send him to school in Montgomery, would you choose a quote unquote failing school that Kevin doesn't understand what a failing school is, but would you choose one of the failing schools? As a matter of fact, one of the worst schools in the state?
No.
Send him to?
Oh, heck no.
Well, let me ask you this too.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew your son wanted to be an engineer, would you at least pick up the phone and ask them how many of their students had got accepted into engineering schools?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would check into that. That's reasonable to do. I would already know ahead of time that they would be poorly equipped coming from Lee, Lanier, JD, any of those. I would never send my son to that school.
Well,
any of them.
Kevin is the one that he's here.
Well, okay, but wait a minute. I'm going to ask both of you. Wait. I'm going to ask both of you guys a question here, and I realize that you were born on the other side of the track, and things are all good for you. That silver that silver spoon when you guys were born with, it kind of makes our perspective a little different from one another. But let me ask you a question. If everybody that goes to school is to be treated equally and should have same equal access to great education, and a few of us can pick our kids out of there and take them someplace else, what happens to everybody else?
Well, again, your philosophy that I'm going to take these and we're going to make Lee a better.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. Listen, I was shocked. I was in shock because I didn't realize that schools really had that kind of environment. Yeah, but But you have a tainted version because you went to Millbrook. Yes.
How about that?
And you ran away.
No, I did what you said to do. I wasn't going to take it anymore. I wasn't going to be a part of a bad system.
But rather than change it, you ran. You ran.
I would too.
Okay.
I would teach
Now there's a word we use for that called cowardness. I'm just saying. It is because you listen. You didn't. You ran.
Kevin, you better be recording this. This is great radio.
You guys ran. I gotta go. I gotta go on a break here, but you guys ran. We call that being a coward. What can I tell you? But I ain't mad at you. Don't get me wrong. You do the best. You do what you can do. You know.
I got enough sense not to go here to start with.
We'll be back.
That was good.
Principals, is my understanding, can be terminated quicker than a regular teacher.
Year to year.
Exactly. So it's easier to get rid of leadership than it is on the teacher. But we don't do that.
And one of the things about the principals that are there, they won't let them get rid of who they want to get rid of.
Well,
I got to go through an act of Congress. You try to do that. I would bring this up with you. Wanted to bring this up with you on the air, and you can tell me if you want me to or not.
Bring it on. Don't tell me. Bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be spontaneous in my answer.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. I have better answer when I'm spontaneous. Don't let me think about it for a second.
Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Now, I can have you up on a religious day. We can talk about
and religious. I don't know, when you have Target and Walmart. Now,
I'd be happy to do that.
Because you get everything you want in one big place, Walmart, Superstore. I love those places. And you get the best prices on everything. It's cool. Love it. You get everything, clothes, you name it, sporting goods, food even. They're just great. Anyway, Walmart and Target, two of the nation's largest retailers, confirming this week inflation headwinds are intensifying. The strength of the consumer will be tested as both Walmart and Target are signaling rising pricing pressures that are not easing, meaning that they can't put something on their shelves and not make a profit. They got to be able to put the lights on every day and pay their employees.
Join Sean later today, right here on the Sean Hannity Show.
And whether you're moving into a new home or you just want to give your home a whole new feel, you can start with custom window treatments from Blinds.com. Now, Blinds.com, they have the selection and the expertise to help you customize your perfect window treatments. Plus, there's no showroom, no retail markups. Blinds.com, they can connect you with design consultants and local pros for installation. So shop Blinds.com right now. Save up to 40% off site-wide. That's Blinds.com, up to 40% off site-wide. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It could be information to change your life forever. Or the Something You Should Know podcast could just be something interesting. Monica Guzman is on a mission to depolarize America.
That animosity is called affective polarization. It's polarization based on how we feel about each other. We are actually living under more anxiety and fear than is probably justified. By the way, when we have less fear, we can solve more.
Join Mike Carruthers and guests for Something You Should Know. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or bloating stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food.
I know one thing, we changed principles a lot. They don't usually last, length of a principle is about 3 years.
And as soon as we get one that's good, they will keep one who actually makes it.
No, they'll actually
Increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder.
Take 'em out of-
Doctor-
take 'em out of
Take 'em out of school, move 'em up to central office.
If you're allergic to pork or if you have gout,
Well,
kidney problems, or worsening of
there you
painful
go,
swollen
Bill.
joints, call your doctor if you have any unusual.
Let me tell you who they won't get rid of.
gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon.
If he's good, they'll keep him in that spot. They won't let him move up.
Other side effects may
The
include blood sugar changes, gas,
central
dizziness, throat
offices
cough,
and
physical
administrative positions are filled with bad football coaches.
Prescribe EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI.
You can't get rid of them, so you move them up the line. You don't want them to coach anymore. You can't tolerate a bad football team, so move them up the line.
The only thing I like about football or sport is what it teaches us. It
Oh, it
teaches
does,
us,
it's great.
it teaches teamwork. It teaches that one man can be important, or one man can make you a loser. So it teaches you so many things. But how do you apply that in that same philosophy should be entrenched in the fabric of teaching. A coach's job, because a coach is no different from any other teacher. He just teaches sports. He just teaches his game. People like you teach agriculture. Now here's my problem with coaching, though, with teaching football. Give people a degree in football. How many jobs can you get out of a college in and make $1 million right off the bat? Let's make football a curriculum, and therefore
It is a curriculum.
right. Unofficially.
It is a. We had kids that would spend from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 6 o'clock practicing football. They had an athletic period of 96 minutes, and they might have even had PE on top of that. A quarter of their education was physical. They had twice as much time in athletics as they did in English, math, science, or history. In any one of those disciplines.
Almost nothing for covered auto repairs.
Well, I mean,
They have
again,
a lot of time with football.
Again, it
They
is.
do football year round.
So why not give it a degree?
I would, and you want to get on that subject? I taught roughly 3,000 kids, had 2 that made money playing ball.
Yeah. You gotta understand that.
Had 2.
It's a vehicle, but it's not.
One of them was really, really good, and he made a lot of money doing it. But I taught thousands of athletes, and only 2 of them made money.
What do you have to lose? Call
That's not that many.
Of course, now you gotta look at the other side. How many of them went to jail? So you did a good job.
Some of our ball players did go to jail, but yeah, you want to get into some of that. I taught 8 kids that are serving life without parole.
The abortion mills stay open.
In Alabama?
Lady Blanchard is a defender
Yes.
of life. She
In my
adopts children.
classroom.
She stands for life.
taught
She's
8.
the most pro-life candidate for governor.
No, some of them were, some of them weren't.
Good. I want to make sure you get the I want to make sure.
You glad some of mine were white killers?
Yeah, I'm
Is
just
that what
like-
you're glad of that?
Yeah.
No. Mine was a predominantly white school. We were 90%. In fact, most of mine were, out of the 8,
Yeah, Shannon, our dad, Dr.
2 were
Brian
black.
Kelly, treats things like tendonitis and bunions. If a person is
The others were
diabetic,
white.
It's important to have food.
So 6 white, 2 black.
Call today for an appointment at
That's a good ratio.
265-9585.
That's a good ratio.
Start here.
It's a sad ratio that any of them did it. But I've always said, when you ride by a prison, all of them went to school somewhere.
Well, that's true.
Everybody.
And
had
that's
to-
what we all have in common, is we all went to school someplace,
Yeah.
somebody's school.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you need a degree in, and they got so many stupid degrees that go with education. It's a shame. I mean, these things are just so irrelevant. Here's one, education psychology. Education management.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians don't fear.
We make up crap.
News Radio 1440.
Woo! Get that door from me. Okay, we're back. Good morning, everybody. 820-1440 number here. If you want to give us a call, love to talk to you, whatever on your mind. Our guest is one. I don't know if you want me to tell you.
Mine? Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Well, this is Caleb's dad. See, remember
I'm
Caleb?
known as that.
Well, yeah, that's what we know.
Yeah, I'm John.
Yeah, John. John's here with us.
Colquitt. I'm a retired educator from Autauga County. Taught agri-science for a long time, and I'm still in education. I still work for Alabama FFA, and I cover about 13 counties, and I go visit programs. And I've got a challenge for you before we get to the caller. If we may.
Hold on, caller. Hold on.
Yeah, just a second. Got a challenge for you. What I would like for you to do, Kevin, so you will understand this better.
Yes.
I want you to dedicate 1 week to spending it at Lee High School.
They won't let
Just
me
a whole.
They won't let me stay in there
No,
for
why
a
not?
week.
I would want a talk show host in my school.
But they wouldn't.
But you won't understand it until you've spent some time in it. Go spend some time in your child's classroom.
They don't want me there.
Spend some time there. That's the only way. The experts on education as to whether or not a class is good, a school is good, but in particular, a teacher is good or not, the only true experts are the students that are sitting there.
Well, that's true.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Hey, I gotta go. I'm with you on Joe Clark and Coach Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them is where you have to bring the attention to everyone. Martin Luther King said one of the greatest things, you can lock a person up for righteousness and unrighteousness. If you lock him up because he did the right thing, you saw Joe Clark laying up in that jail smiling because he got these teachers and children's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got their attention, they wanted to follow. We created a monster. Coming up, I noticed there was I think some Catholic schools, but everybody else was in public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Immigration came, and now it takes a scientist to figure out how to figure this mess out. That's the problem. Once immigration came, then all these scholars came in and showed people how you manipulate. Now it irks me. I was talking to the veterans the other day, and I said, I something in the school system blew my mind one day. A teacher at Carver. Have you ever heard a teacher? I'm sorry. Have you ever heard a teacher from Lamb High School say, "If you don't do right, if you don't follow the rules, I'm gonna send you back to the public school"?
I know.
There are the public schools, but here's the funny thing. I never heard anyone from Carver say that if you keep screwing up, I'm gonna send you to Lamb. So we're in the same school system. You see, we created a monster. When I go to Butler County, there was a private school down there. Guess what it is right now? A stockyard. Because at the integration, they ran, but they realized there wasn't no money. Somewhere they're going to ease back into a system somewhere where the kids are still in private school. But that's another story. But you see how complicated things are? We should not be going through this conversation. Kids should be in public school or private school if they rich or famous, or in chapter school if that's the route they take. But all this craziness, Joe Clark and Coach Carter laid the foundation. Got all the rats out of there, got the attention of the faculty and everyone else legally. And then they ended up, getting locked up. But it's okay to get locked up.
You got to be You got to be willing to sacrifice something in order
Let
to
me
get
interject
something.
on this too.
Yeah.
If you're going to improve a system, like you just pointed out, you got to get rid of some people.
That's right.
And he absolutely got rid of people, and it worked.
Yeah. It'll work here too.
Sure, it would.
And I like what they said on both instances. You brought me in here to fix it.
Yeah.
And now you're questioning me not because everybody's so caught up with the politics.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to take a risk in everything that you do. And if you're a supervisor and things of that sort and scared to take a risk because
You don't deserve to be there. Right. That's called leadership.
then the children fail. Yeah,
Yep.
then the children is the one that fails.
Yep.
And that's what I meant today.
Huh?
You know I enjoy you.
Appreciate it.
Good call.
Appreciate it. And absolutely. See what I'm
Now,
saying?
let me bring this up too. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
That was sent to me, okay?
Mhm.
And I better get this in. If every neighbor around you had drug lords and crime, would you stay?
Well, that's an interesting question, but I got to tell you, it depends on the relationship I had with her.
Oh.
Depends on the relationship I had with her.
So if your child's in a failing school, you just keep them there.
It depends on the again, if everybody leaves that cares about the school, if everybody leaves that cares about the administration of the school, then all we're going to do is take all the good people.
As a parent, you have to have more concern for the individual person than your own child, which has a profound impact from that point forward. You got to be more concerned about your child.
Doesn't my child have right? But doesn't my wait a minute? Oh, there's a book. You remember the is it A Tale of Two Cities? I know you probably read it because what's the name of the book? It says that I am part of the whole, and anything that happens to anybody else diminishes me. What book is that? As For Whom the Bell Tolls. Okay, we are part of the whole.
Sure you are.
And if anything happens to any part of the whole, it affects all of us.
I would not sacrifice my child's education just to prove a point.
Well, okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, so whose child is irrelevant?
Nobody's child's irrelevant.
Okay, and that's what I think too.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to just forget about them, because my son's gonna have to work with these people, hire some of these people at some point in time, or some of those people have never had anybody that concerned with them about their success or failure until they'll grow up. Next thing you know, they'll be in prison cold. So I think that's our problem. We're kind of stingy. We're kind of selfish as people.
I think with our own children, we have to be selfish, and we should be.
All right.
We do.
Different philosophies about those things.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin.
Yes.
Let me put about three things, and then I'd like to get a comment on one of them. First of all, let me start with President Biden is in Korea, and he went by a Samsung plant where they're building chips, which lessen our dependency on China. And they're building one in Texas. And you're all talking about education. There was a lady, I think her name was Ruth, and she became superintendent of the DC schools. And if you ever seen the documentary on her something, Charlotte Meadows hooked up with her, and we ended up with the first charter school, I think, here in Montgomery. And then, the people behind the scenes have already realigned her district to get rid of this stuff. One of the things that I noticed about the conversation this morning, we talk a lot about, leadership, but it always goes back to government and the military. Everybody that's called this morning, nobody thinks about what made America, and that is free enterprise and competition. And that's what's wrong with education. Now, I'm going to give you an idea, okay? And Tommy Vice is one of the worst. He's gone. But, why don't we put the best teachers on the floor and pay them for results? And all of these teachers that really want to teach will team up and run the ones off that created this collective environment that we have. And collectivism will destroy capitalism. And we are capitalists, at least I think we are. And let them compete for that money. You don't put Michael Jordan in the front office. You put him on the floor and let him play. We do that in everything. Except for education. The teachers should be the highest paid people in education. And all you got to do, like we test them in the third grade and we build prisons from that.
I'm all for that.
I mean, listen to what we're talking about. Are you all listening to me? Why don't we just pay the teachers on performance? Get rid of all the layers of bureaucracy that's manipulating all this money and look for results.
I'm all for that because I thought my performance was pretty good.
Yeah, well, there it is. And
I didn't mind that. We were in competitive events and we did well.
They don't call in. They just there, and there's nothing they can do. Well,
Well, yes. Well, there is something they can do if they were willing to do. They got to be willing to sacrifice something. And teachers are just not willing to sacrifice, but we ask everybody else to.
You're telling me that teachers don't sacrifice?
Look at the environment of our schools. No, not really.
No, this whole community.
Mm.
Everybody's government. I had an IRS agent say, you could never work for the government because your mouth is too
Believe that.
Well, I understand.
Enjoy.
All
Thank
right.
you for calling.
Got to take my last break. We'll be back with the epilogue. Now, for you folks got a little age on you, if you ever watch FBI, you know, the epilogue means the last segment. Okay. So we'll be back after this.
Time the girl is gone to say. This time the girl is gonna stay. For more than just a day. You know, professional singer too.
I used to be. Can't help believing when she smiles so soft in my hand. I just love it to me. He died.
Yeah, I know. I saw him in concert a couple of times. He was outstanding.
I've never been to a concert.
If I could pick a voice, I'd pick his.
Yeah.
If I could have as my own, his is special. What?
Him and he and Luther Vandross had a.
Boy, Luther Vandross got a great voice too.
Kenny Loggins.
He got a good voice. John Legend's got a good voice.
Yeah. People used to sing. And the way you can tell if you can sing without an instrument and still make me move.
Yeah. And
the Bee Gees. And the Bee Gees was.
No fire.
I mean, what a well, we have these conversations here. It doesn't change anything. Something's got to change. Somebody's got to be willing to sacrifice something in order to make a change.
You got to put a guy in.
A new guy coming.
You got to put a guy in a principal position. Not exactly like, but similar to Morgan Freedom. That'll jump in. I think the kids would follow the leadership if the administrator would back them up, not throw them in jail, which is what happened to him.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out, but in the real world,
it
probably didn't.
I mean, the movies look good. You can always write the ending.
And there are stories like that. Have you ever seen Stand and Deliver?
I think so. Can't remember.
Edward James Olmos.
Oh, yeah. In the middle of Chicago, New York, someplace.
No, in California.
Yeah,
he had Hispanic kids and taught them math, and they all passed the advanced placement test.
Because good leadership can do that.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to sacrifice something.
Don't tell me, though, that teachers don't sacrifice, because we do. We absolutely do with our time.
Well, you sacrifice your time, but
isn't that all you can give?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put your job on the line.
You put your job on it. Let me tell you this. One of the things we were in a lot of competitions. You know, I taught debate.
Oh, did you?
My parliamentary procedure team, about 60% of it was debate. The quality of your debate. And that's where Caleb got it from. They're going back and forth and formulating your points and ideas. And we do very little. People don't know how to engage in rhetoric. Because they don't know how to communicate, and they don't know how to make a point, counterpoint, those kind of things. But we were pretty stinking good.
He told me that.
Yeah, we were pretty stinking good.
My only problem is my suckness in debate is that I don't really. If I had the talking points in front of me,
I'll tell you this.
I could kill you.
I give you credit for this. You do stick on message.
Yeah.
You do stick on your original message as good as anybody. You would be a good politician from that standpoint.
But I don't like doing the exhaustive research. There's a great debater with Denzel Washington. Have you seen that?
Don't you think I've seen that?
Yeah, I loved it.
All my classes had to watch it.
I loved it.
Every Party Pro team I had after the movie came out had to watch that. That required watching.
Because to be a great debater, according to that movie, you really got to know your stuff. And even if you don't know it, if you sound like you know it, you still win.
That was an incredible movie.
It really was.
It's one of my favorites. Of course, because I relate to it so much.
But here's something. Let me tell you what really surprised me in that movie is that they were in the mix of a mixed crowd of people, white and black, during a time that whites wasn't very kind to black folks.
Oh, weren't receptive at all.
But one thing about knowledge will take the most ardent antagonist and change it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw those white people get them start clapping hands for the black folks, right on. Knowledge is
you need to do
wonderful.
some research on that movie, though.
Yeah.
And that that was not all accurate. It was a great story.
Right.
They manipulated it.
Well, that's creative
It was
license there.
Yeah, but it was changed up some, but it was outstanding. The real story is outstanding too. It really is. Look it up sometime.
I mean, I found it kind of ironic and unbelievable that black kids back in those days would go in front of a white audience and make them look bad. And
they had a great coach that helped them with their confidence to be able to do that. And
yeah,
he had them prepared. That was a whole.
Yeah, it was
there.
It was great. I didn't know about debate in high school because I was too busy trying to get home for the lights got turn off. or the cold in the wintertime in Indiana, man, it would get so cold. We ran out of coal.
I love the preacher. He was my favorite character. The minister that had his young son that was on the team.
Change in the State House. Jerry Starnes is a change in the right direction. He's a husband, a father, and a Christian conservative. Jerry Starnes.
Now you're telling me Jesus Christ. He got after Denzel. Now you're comparing yourself to Jesus Christ. Go ahead. You really want to do that?
1695 Winston Way, Prattville, Alabama, 36066.
Running over the hog.
He's smart, witty, and fast.
See, now, Kevin, race-wise, in that movie, I'm ashamed of people of my race that acted that way.
Yeah.
That was horrific.
Okay, I'm going to try to get all the calls in now because I know my son would say I have been talking too much. So, of course, that's why we call it a talk show. But let's go to phones. Good morning, you're there. Morning. Okay.
We do.
Says who?
Says me.
Sunday school's not in the Bible. Good morning.
It's not in the Bible. We need to teach the Bible.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do out of everything. I only go out anger. Okay, you've been doing all of this for a whole year, and your co-son is in that school, and you don't know what kind of danger you're putting him in.
Yes, I do. We talk all the time. Yes, I do. We talk all the time. As a matter of fact, most people don't even know. Most people don't even know he's my son.
You don't know what you know because sometimes.
Okay.
And sometimes your son.
You haven't seen my son, have you? And I have thought about it, but you haven't seen my son, have you? Trust me, ain't nobody gonna mess with him.
Excellent suggestion.
And thought about being a substitute. I still come in the same stupid rules that everybody else will come on there and there, and they been putting me out the first day. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, well, I don't know if I have the, and I appreciate, I don't know if I have the patience to put up with some of the things that I hear in school, the language, the disrespect. I don't have it because I ain't gonna play it.
You expect your son's teachers to put up with it?
No, I do not, and that's my problem. They put up with it, rather than getting rid of that little tyrant out of the classroom. That's my problem. I don't think it should be
now
yes
you're
men.
Pointing out the students are actually the problem.
Because they're allowed to get away with it by the leadership.
Yeah, I don't put up with that either.
Yeah, students only do what you let them do.
Quick, before you go to that, I wouldn't let a kid cuss me.
You couldn't stop them from cussing.
They would never come back in my room.
Right, exactly.
Never, ever, never.
Exactly.
I sit them in a chair out in the hall. They're not coming back in my school if they cuss me.
And I don't blame you. Good morning, and that's my problem. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Okay, thank you,
I will. I'm glad you have.
Okay, but you know, I got to get some more calls in because you called one call. Okay. Yeah, and he man, am I? Well, and they're in line, right? And I agree with you. Good morning. So are you. That's Ed. That's the guy who likes to keep calling back all the time. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Philip Harvey Hall.
Yeah. Who ain't been up here yet running for Congress? Okay, keep going.
I would like to know which profession do you ask for sacrifices other than teachers?
Soldiers.
Soldiers. Okay, soldiers are there, so you believe soldiers and teachers should be the only people sacrificed?
I think we all
provide some of the most humble public service. Soldiers should be paid more than teachers. But this is my point for you, other than that. What's missing from education? You're part of it, but you're not full of it. It's public and particularly parental engagement.
Even if the parental engagement, even if the parental engagement is not there, the relationship between student and teacher, local parentage, means that they take the place of the parent. Just because the parents are low down and good, the rules of school should be the same.
The rules should be the same. We do need a board, but there's always that piece. You must have teachers who are doing their job. You must hold students accountable and their parents.
Amen.
Now, outside of what
you can't really do much about their parents, though. I mean,
look at the schools that perform best.
Right.
So there's something that is missing. We can keep putting it at the teachers. And you're right. Teachers make great. If you need to go to school, and I always say it, stay in a school more than one day.
That's my challenge to him. He needs about a week.
Yes, everyone needs a week.
Absolutely.
I may think about that. I
I
may do that because I don't really have a whole lot to do. I can spend a couple of hours over there. I ain't gonna spend it on 8 hours over there for sure. Yeah, a couple hours a day a week. I can do that. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No.
I'll put you in a spot.
I'll be in jail. I gotta go. Bye.
We done?
Yeah, I'd be in jail.
Well, you see, but they're not. They have to be there every day. They do.
They do. Well, they don't have to, but
I mean, for their job, they
right.
do make a commitment to it.
But you guys are still responsible for the environment.
Nobody's saying that we're not.
So why don't y'all do something about it?
All I could control was my own little world, and I controlled my world.
And,
and
you did, but
I did.
When I have a principal tell me that, well, we got to take kids from the community. What does that mean? You know, my child's from the community.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it. I got to run, and